SCARZ will go for. Something that's always going to be in my mind when you look at a veto is the coaching staff, or perhaps ex-coaching staff. And look, Bank was the decider there, which I'll let you tease in a second. But just something to keep in mind with the context of this map veto is one of KINOTROPE's players is the former SCARZ coach.
Oh my god, you're right.
Eclair. So the mind games that must be occurring between these two teams is boggling.
That's actually a great point. And what better way to have Bank, not as the first or second map pick, but rather a handshake deal decider on that third. So the scene is set, James. Are you ready?
I think I must be. There's no question, like, the teams must step up now. Of course, it's for a spot in the upper bracket final to be just 1 or 2 games away from the major if you win today. Let's kick things off. It is SCARZ's map pick. We're going to Nighthaven Labs, and there's a lot of love in the chat as Ayagator says, good luck, bro, and I do not know what Nina is saying, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it, because as we discovered earlier this year when we went to Japan, Pengu, my Japanese is not really up to scratch, but thankfully these teams will be doing most of the Japanese talking, and we will just be covering it in English to the best of our ability. It's time to get into it. KINOTROPE versus SCARZ as the operator bands roll on through. Will it be the double Electro Bros for the defense?
Maybe so. Banty, yeah, Electro Bros done and dusted. Again, it makes a lot of sense. SCARZ, you know, going back to kind of how they play on Bank and why I wouldn't want to take down Bank. They're very good at just getting in the building and taking gunfights on maps where there is space to take. So when you have these kind of scenarios where you're making things easier for SCARZ, that's when they're going to play their very best. By banning the Bandit and the Kaid, you essentially make that very first initial step out easier to get them in the building. Makes sense here as well for Ivan Labs.
Defense, Carwow on the shotgun here for the Thorn. Can I just say, I love this game. I love the meta. I love so many of the operators. I hate Thorn with a passion. I am so sick of seeing Thorn every round. I'm so sick of playing against Thorn. Why she get 4 traps? Why she get barbed wire as well?
Come on.
Why she get the best shotgun and as an automatic second? Come on, man.
Come on, she has a C-75, it's barely a weapon. What do you mean? Automatic second. Okay, also a point, right? The traps, they suck to deal with. There's 4 of them, sure. But I would say, unless there's a slowing element combined with the Thorn Razor Bloom, your barbed wire, Belusi, whatever, you're not really supposed to get hit by it unless you're hesitating, right?
We saw a round on Clubhouse just before where 2 players died to Thorn traps in the same round for BME. Like, come on, you can't tell me that that isn't powerful.
It is. But you also said in your play-by-play, you gotta go back or you gotta go forward, you gotta shoot it, you can't hesitate. He hesitated, so he died. If you just, like, you know, especially as a shield operator, just jiggle the corners, kind of like against Elamines, you can bait up the Thorn if you're mindful of it. If you're not mindful of the swing, though, you get shot down. Gatorada in the grave as Ayagator. The KINOTROPE is starting on the back foot right now on defense of Nighthaven. To make matters worse, this top floor bomb site has a lot of different angles to get attacked from. It feels like now KINOTROPE, they have to keep going for broke. They gotta keep swinging and playing overly aggressive because they cannot play this round out in a 3v5 fashion.
Yeah, the problem is SCARZ can basically just go into just safety mode, right? Just prevent that aggression. Don't overextend. You don't have to rush. You can just slow down, make sure that if you do lose another player, it's going to be with the trade. Now, Akayu is actually able to find Wreck with a Nitro Cell. Carwow as well joins the fray, but with Eclair falling, it's very difficult now for KINOTROPE to get back into it. 2v3 is not impossible, but SCARZ have a lot of control of the bomb site with Akayu going down. It's Carwow up against the world. They know exactly where he is now, and he is locked out of the objective. The diffuser has to get recollected here, but the Grim is going to be perfect. It's going to enable a quick swing onto Carwow. The flashbang as well, as Nina finally swings inside and finds the first round for SCARZ.
That right there is a classic SCARZ round. Plant? No. Flash, double swing? Yes. Get fast in there. And this is exactly why when I was talking about how they banned the Kite and the Bandit, they open up so much more freedom, both in problem solving, that first step of breaching, but also just enabling the interfraggers to do their own thing and not worry too much about being stuck. that's something that a map like Clubhouse historically has actually caused a lot of problems for teams that don't have, like, let's say 2 support players or a very good flex player. So you're gonna have to put one of your fraggers on a support operator. Because, you know, back in the other Clubhouse, you had to play double Heart Breacher, let's say Thermite Hibana, and you gotta play Thatcher. But it's so few teams who have 3 people who wanna be on that leash of saying, don't peek, don't do this, stay over here, be in the corner, drone the corner, etc. So SCARZ, they can take that similar approach. Open things up, enable the fraggers, and give them freedom. Don't leash them and tie them to a single area of the map.
Yeah, and look, I feel like it's not the end of the day if a few defenses slip through KINOTROPE's fingers. This map, with a good team, like, can actually skew to the attack. So I don't want to, like, kind of rag on KINOTROPE too much. Look, if they lose 2 or 3 in a row, then yeah, I'd say that's a pretty cause for concern, and I would want to get the coaches in ASAP with a tactical timeout. But yeah, look, not the end of the day to lose that first round, especially after getting picked so early. It was just on SCARZ to convert the 5v4. What are they going to play this round, though? Oh, sorry. I'll let you go. Take it away.
It's also a matter of, like, the way KINOTROPE played last week is kind of similar to SCARZ, right? That they were the ones to strike first and be aggressive and be the ones to make the initial play. We spoke about them, especially on the attacking side. Gator on the Solid Snake, just, you know, always finding value. I do feel like there's right now in the first 3 rounds going to be a bit of a feeler being put out. So, okay, from KINOTROPE's perspective, can we play that really aggressive in-your-face playstyle against SCARZ, or will it go punished? Okay, if it goes punished, we're going to play plan B. It's probably going to be a bit slower pace, a bit more utility, more problem solving. And in this round, they do that, right? They bring Maestro Cams, they bring the Valkyrie, they bring the traps in both the Aruni and the Thunder, or the Aruni and the Thorn, rather, the Razor Blooms. So it's already been a pretty big switch from round 1 to round 2.
Yeah, how much of a roam game do you go for here is the question for KINOTROPE. Maybe just playing on the stairs around the Thorn traps is a better move for Carwow. Come the late round, SCARZ have one tool in their arsenal that KINOTROPE might not be ready for, which is the Bliss. It's on Blitz. It's on Ossa, or Fishlike. I don't know why Fishlike's changed his name to that in game, but that's Fishlike right there on the shield. And perhaps it'll be a drop down one of these hatches to get aggressive. Very rarely do you see pushes in purely through Animus, which is exactly where Fishlike is going right now.
Have you seen some attacks like Aurora and Glass where you plant a single one close over the doors with the Aurora? But this is just a Blitz dropping down the hatch to put a lot of pressure on Maestro, and Blitz starts planting.
Yeah, he might actually be able to get this down as well. Oh, bit of damage, lot of damage. Finally killed by Eclair. Great shots. However, Rek and Nina do come to life, as they often do. And the kill feed reigns. Akayu and Carwow now, with Akayu on the flank, need to find these final shots, but Nina has that flank locked up. Carwow up against 3 with so much time on the board, and he's exposed to some vert. I don't think that SCARZ will let this one slip by.
Got 2 flashbangs, can pop a flash in cargo, use the verticality, also go deep bomb side. Once they find this final player with certainty, then they can make their choice. Gonna start planning and covering. And they're successful. The vert, the side swing, and the plant all at the same time. You see again, they're so locked in, they're so in sync. This is the thing. When SCARZ don't make small mistakes and don't go punished on those small mistakes, they can be such a lethal team. And they do such a good job at planting in the smoke while challenging them on the vert, always making 2 problems happen at the same time.
I'm amazed here that Eclair even denied the plant. I mean, this should have probably been an even more dominant rounds.
Yeah.
It does, I guess, remind people, though, that, you know, just because you've got coverage from a smoke and just because you're doing a total plant with the shield on your back, you're very much not protected. And you could see the way that Eclair, he knew that that was a shield. That's why he was shooting kind of off to the side. He was shooting the feet as much as he could. He was trying to get shots onto the feet and the hands. Really good move from Eclair. Unfortunately, obviously, wasn't enough for KINOTROPE, but SCARZ looking good. They've got some strats prepared. They've got some ideas. They've got some preset executes that they're ready to bring to the table.
10 seconds to go.
Also, just the power of shields. I mean, it gives you so many ways to win a round that doesn't normally exist. Ideally, you can plan with a shield in your back, pop a smoke, push into a doorway, and just stick your face inside of a bomb site and be like, yo, is anybody here? If that's any other operator than a shield that drops down the cargo hatch, or the garage hatch essentially to enemies, you probably just die, or you're going to be hiding behind the wall, praying for your life that nobody comes swinging. And it's why we see the shields being so strong in the meta for the last, what, year and a half, 2 years time now. Because you can just cut some corners. Not in that bad way cutting corners, but the good kind of way, saying, we don't need to worry about the whole map. Don't gotta worry about, you know, denying every single playing position. The vert doesn't need to be perfect. But there's no shield for this one. Third time to attack. Third bomb site to attempt as well. KINOTROPE going through the motions, now going to cargo. And they got different win conditions, right? They got both the toxic babes for some entry and plant denial. They got a vertical C4 in the post with the cutting scanner. And they got traps upstairs to kind of weaken the roam clear. So again, strategically, I like what KINOTROPE is showing us. They're playing on many different areas in the game in a good way. But it comes down to gunfights and entry. Can they deny SCARZ that initial gunfight?
It's a lot of measuring being done by SCARZ to try and set up. Ooh, there's a little peek from Eclair. Ball's back. Got to say, it's something that we've seen a lot of regions, a lot of coaches do, is make the return to playing. Of course, it's happened with CAG, the best team out of Japan, with DD making his return to playing. And we're seeing the same with Eclair. He looks so confident, and I love to see that. The stereotype is obviously that coaches can't play, and Eclair is already showing us that that's not the truth. However, he is falling back further and further. Oh. He does find a kill before he has to retreat down the blue stairs. Great shot onto Washoy.
It's a big one. That's entry denied, and it's going to take some of that momentum away from the SCARZ as well in this round. They got to kind of restabilize. This is an important fight right here in the entry door. If you can win this one, Gator, the round should almost be yours.
Oh, but there's two players there. He doesn't want to contest when he's being trapped, and there's a player on the other side as well. In the end, Fishlike will be the one to swing and finally finish off Gator, but realistically, there wasn't a lot he could do in such a pickle.
So second line of defense, right? You're going to have to play around the Cadix into the post, the toxic babes, and stall for time. Gatorada gets a kill as well into Wreck. Again, just picking up individual kills. SCARZ not in a tradable position at the minute. Now they're going for Aqua retake. So if SCARZ start walking down the garage stairs, they can start retaking top 4 for the verticality.
Obviously, no matter where we go,
they get back
D+
into it
are going to be favoured, but it is BME who trying to pick the first map. Now they're going to take up an avenue, especially with Gatorada on that top floor. Oh, beautiful shot from Gatorada. And Fishlike's going to be survive with the Aruni getting in the way. First round on the board for Be My Enemy. On the back of some impressive good angle though from Boozy, takes out Gatorada. Clee, 2v2 enemy.
Again, the layers
is forced onto the plant and get the first round on the board for Be My Enemy.
Different aspects.
Yeah, this is a good angle though from Boozy, takes out JV63. Boozy's now getting flanked, but he finds that kill as well as Justiman falls. In a 2v2, it's going to be challenging with the Aruni getting in the way, but Boca is the last one standing, falls. Low HP is forced onto the plant, and Boca can quickly swoop in, find the final 2 kills, and get the first round on the board for Be My Enemy. It's a good angle though from Boozy, takes out JV63. Boozy's now getting flanked, he finds that kill as well as Justiman falls. In a 2v2, it's going to be challenging with the Aruni getting in the way, but Boca is the last one standing, falls. Low HP is full.
Building, you can play top floor, basement, and the bomb site itself. When you're playing the top floor bomb site that we're seeing right now,
obviously, no matter where we go,
the issue is
that
you're
is
going to be roaming
downstairs.
you're a bit more.
It's going to be challenging with the Aruni.
You don't have as much teamwork around yourself. If you don't play downstairs at all, well, then the enemies are only going to worry about one singular floor, which means they can mess with you a lot easier. So KINOTROPE for this round, very fine line between roaming downstairs, utilizing the C4, utilizing the poles, but not going so deep into the building and the map that they can run you down solo across the bomb site. Right? You want to be in a supportable position. You probably just die, or you're going to be hiding in the wall.
So what do we think on this top floor here, Nick? Obviously, SCARZ won it pretty convincingly on the first rounds. What do KINOTROPE need to do differently? I mean, one element that they've got is the roamer of the Pulse to go below, and I don't know if he's going to actively be looking for C4 kills or whether he's going to be trying to play late round, but at least it's something different. for KINOTROPE.
I like different. Just keep your opponent guessing, right? It's not too expected. But there was a pause in the previous round as well. So once you start bringing out, these particular operators that are gonna change your playstyle, you're gonna be more, I don't know, in tune with it. Same with like Thorn. You said how like overpowered your operator is and annoying and whatnot, right? If you're playing on Thorn every single round and you play with that in mind, you're gonna approach the window vaults differently, going down the staircase differently. When you start playing as a pause time and time again, it's like, guys, C4 below, don't run on soft core, C4 below. And it kind of makes the pause a weaker operator. So I feel like playing it 1 or 2 rounds here is excellent, but you can't spam it necessarily every single time. Unless it keeps working, of course.
Well, they did play the Valkyrie in the first 2 rounds, so I wonder if they got rid of that because it was getting countered by the IQ and the pulse is kind of just an attempt at adapting.
More movable, more mobile, if you will. Good use of the fire there from Capital and Catwalk rotate, forcing back the assignment of Eclair to not kind of just go for a re-swing and retake. Then Blackbeard walks up the stairs with Catwalk. Now they got Icy Breach and they got Garage Control. That's 2 of the 3 areas that they want. Then the question is, they need a 3rd area. Either they need Aqua Control ahead of Blackbeard right here on this door, or they need Meeting across the map. Because you want to attack from 3 different angles at the same time and really suffocate those defenders in tiny areas. Then we see Pulse is still just like freely vibing downstairs at full IT information. That's where that C4 could get a kill.
It's going to be a shotgun v shotgun battle here with the Ying. He's taking down, isn't he, by the Thorn. Great shot there from Carwow. Very well read on the back of the sizzle of that Candela going out. The SCARZ do get 1 laugh in there, finally trading back Carwow. The shotgun is gone.
Bit curious now what the effect's gonna be because they're lagging a bit of pressure, but the nading of Viagator is now stuck inside a Meeting, gets shot down exactly. Nice one, plus got Catwalk. Here comes that push.
Oh yeah, but Gatorada's held down the fort on site and bought enough time for Akayu to make his way back. Now, there's no pulse down below because Akayu has rotated back upstairs. So Gatorada and Akayu are gonna have to get on this retake together. With Fishlike on the other side. He's got no util to work with, and he's now made it a 1v1. This is nigh impossible now for Akayu. He's already used his C4. And while he can go below and get information, there's no guarantee he'll be able to get that kill. He has to get up close and personal with a UMP in tight range. He vaults over the top, and Fishlike gives us a masterclass on playing the 1v2. It's a 4K on the round and a big clutch up for Fishlike.
A huge positioning game right there, right? I mean, he's playing it so well. He recognizes that there are 2 ways for him to get chased after when he makes it a 1v1. When you're playing a 2v1, he has to, or 1v2, sorry, he has to go for an aggressive play to even back the numbers. So he does that. He plays the aggressive angle. The second he gets the kill, he's like, I'm gonna go play connector / electric, because either my enemy is going to go through this rotate, which is a vault rotate, it gets stuck in animation, he can't shoot back, etc. I win the round. If he goes for the door, I can just go to the rotate myself or go even further away towards Meeting because it's a 7-second defuse timer. So the second he gets to 1v1, he knows it's over. He can literally just win off brain play, and he does exactly that, forcing like a 90% gunfight win rate. So huge stuff for him and his team. SCARZ very much in the driver's seat. And that was all of a pretty rough round for them. They had numbers disadvantage. They didn't get that 3 kind of spearheaded attack. They lost their entry, yet they still clutch up. The same thing as Spherix.
3-1 in the lead is pretty good, considering KINOTROPE chose to start on defense here. Now, KINOTROPE continuing to change up bomb sites and keep SCARZ guessing. Remember, the only bomb site they've actually won, Pengu, was storage and control. Yeah. Now they've gone top floor twice and failed. They're going a second time to the basement after not winning at the first. And the big difference here is the Maestro. Now, it was not shown in the prep phase. I don't know if I don't think SCARZ at least managed to spot it in prep phase, so they haven't brought a Brava to counter it, but they do have other ingredients to do so, such as the Thatcher.
The Thatcher is interesting. I mean, a Thatcher, when you ban Kite Bandit, almost feels like it was picked, maybe, as you said, specifically for the Maestro. It's also not bad for technically mute jammers if you want to drone stuff. But the issue is, we can talk about you, so what about the roam clear, James? He's a bonk.
Oh, we need a flash to come through here before the ADS is safe, but Akayu will fall. And Fishlike's support from UKID is going to work out. But look at Ayagator still continuing to get aggressive. I will say, though, for SCARZ, the one player they lost is probably the one they can afford to lose here in the Nomad, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Nina, not
but
so
then
much.
Dice Thermite. Different story there. Also, fun fact, the Blitz couldn't blind Akayu on the roam clear because there was a mute jammer on the doors. He was literally just kind of stuck melee trading the entire time instead of flashing, just going for the kill. So they don't got extra stairs, trying to force the play. Have they even breached the wall though? Oh, they have, okay. So the wall is open. They can actually still win this though. The issue is, again, KINOTROPE so good at playing win conditions. If a guy in stock, playing the vert, that's plan denial, and then they have people by the bomb side. That means they can no longer go for this default execute for SCARZ. They have to send one player up above them to deal with Kawa, or sprint deep in towards the bomb side. But then comes the issue, they have Evil Eyes from Maestro also just sapping him, and Blitz is so low on health. It has to be a backstab play, most likely here from Washoy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fishlike falls before the backstab happens. Washoy is now in through Animus. But a big part of the problem here is, like you said, Kawao is still upstairs in storage. He's got Vert. He's even supported on the roam by Gatorada. 2 players on site, 2 players up above. Makes for a very difficult execute here for SCARZ, but UKID finds one. Goodbye, Gatorada. Now Kawao is all alone on the top floor. Both Washoy and UKID are going to have to go big. So Gatorada and Akayu are going to have to get on this retake together.
The Evil Eyes, those Maestro cameras, they see everything on all throughout the bomb site. So it's full red ping, yellow ping information for the defenders to make plays off of. They should know exactly where they're getting attacked from.
Yeah, easy EMP should come through though from the Thatcher, but doesn't
red ping
happen. And now the red ping instead. The UMP Ayagator tight range. He vaults over the final 2 kills. Fishlike gives us perfectly played on the defensive side. Playing the 1v2 SCARZ to 4K on the round and a big clutch up for Fishlike.
Huge positioning game right there, right? I mean, he's that I love personally. They hold F on a door and or a window, which I think is actually super underrated, and they barricade doors and windows. When you're playing in 2v1, and it's basically, it works almost like a temporary castle barricade or, you know, an Elamine Melusi trap. It gives you a ton of information. What sure is now also going to be because the lag downstairs actually had a pretty good backstab potential, but they barricaded half the goddamn thing. Nice one plus shoot the barricade, shoot the soft wall.
Yeah, but Gatorada's held down the fort on site and bought enough time for Akayu.
And he has to kind of just rotate and go somewhere else, or get the shot down exactly nice camera, and people ready and waiting for him.
Oh yeah, but Gatorada's held down the fort on site and bought enough time for Akayu to make his way back. Now,
you know, that like to go on plus got gap to just push you in throughout the building.
Yeah, but Gatorada's
barricade these doors, SCARZ and much less likely to go. Oh, I'm gonna take a risk.
But Gatorada's held down the fort on site and bought enough time for Akayu to make his way back. Now, there's no pulse down below because Akayu has rotated back upstairs. So Gatorada and Akayu are going to have to get on this retake together.
KINOTROPE again have been very impressive
with Fishlike on the other side. He's got no utility to work with, and he's now made it a 1v1. This is nigh impossible now for Akayu. He's already used his C4. It all comes down to this final round and get information. There's no guarantee he'll be able to get that kill. He has to get up close and personal. The UMP in tight range. He vaults over 4-2. Still pretty detrimental to their chances.
And leading up by Ayagator,
getting shot in the
second half. Gets shot down exactly. Nice one plus
roam game. Here comes that aggression. Ayagator soloing over near meeting upstairs in the second floor hallways. He's supported by Akayu down below in cafeteria. And it looks like Ayagator's about to get hunted now by Nina on that Deimos. He'll just fall back. His hope is that SCARZ now enter the building and fall to Akayu's C4s from below.
Yeah. Sadly, at the big game, with a fine line to play, because, you know, if you stick around for too long, you might just die. If you fall back too early, you know, post might not get the full value. So it's important now that the communication is very clear between the C4 beneath and then Ayagator upstairs, of course, going for that play. Meanwhile, SCARZ might flip the switch a little bit and actually rotate the attack, it looks like. They're still mostly outside the building, but it works out because Rek finds a pick onto Eclair who swung that garage Raptor's door.
It's a shame, really. Most of KINOTROPE were playing to put some pressure on and fall back, but Eclair, the only player from KINOTROPE that decided to get aggressive instead, and he will fall. Now, SCARZ have found the gap. They've found the control of the top floor as it's been almost completely sacrificed by KINOTROPE. The only one left on that top floor, I was going to say, is Akayu, but Gatorada's also made his way up the blue stairs as well. So 2 KINOTROPE players looking for a flank, just near staircases at the moment. Meanwhile, on site, Kawao and Ayagator are feeling very exposed, and Ayagator is going to fall on that flank upstairs.
It's sort of think in a 4v5 because they're gonna be watching the drones. Akayu though makes work of it and finds one, but he is the post with C4 in pocket. He is so much more than just a flanker. Right now, he has to go for the simple play of finding that gunfight. Yes, pressure ups that trick. Power finds a second. Now there's life in this round. It's possible to win it for KINOTROPE.
That's exactly right. SCARZ, good flashbang. A lot of pressure on for Carwow. Switches to the shotgun on site. Meanwhile, Akayu knows that he can't wait much longer. He has to get aggressive. Gatarada on the site. Finally falls. And Carwow cannot survive. Nina with the shotgun. Makes it a 1v1. Rekka's on the floor. And a vendetta is called upon by Nina, as he needs to hunt down Akayu. He's got info. He can start to force this plant down. Nitro Cell gets ripped. Nina fakes it. Pre-fired, but Nina's just better. Massive 3K from Nina to give SCARZ the round and to close up the half. 4-2 for the attacking side.
Used to be up against walls, it's on the ropes now. Fighting for that feeling we had in your Laredo. Back when you saw the thorns on my crown, more like a halo. My conscience punished me for the past while I was out there trying to ball. Bet you seen through the mask, hope I ain't being brash. If I say you could have
just wait, and D+ will be able to make their move.
If you stuck around through the rags,
D+ just one crucial kill. That could be the one who falls back and stays alive, actually. Very important. Campaigns out of server. 15 seconds now. Mitski, D+, they're on for the pushing. Let's go right now.
This is a good angle though from Muzi, takes out JV63. Muzi's now getting flanked, but he finds that kill as well. It's just him and Falls in a 2v2. It's going to be challenging with the Aruni gate in the way, but Boka's the last one standing. Falls, low HP, is forced onto the plant, and Boka can quickly swoop.
Still, I got my eyes on the prize and Nelson sight, just tunnel vision.
Just wait, but Boka's the last one stand. Find the final 2 kills and get the first round on the board for B.
I got left halfway out my mind, had to gather some things, rearranging what really matter, kill casual flings. Set the goal and saw nothing after, had to take a risk. Bet on me, cause that's where the well. Before you fantasize of them, you should dream of a better self, and that's for real. I dreamed it up, changed all my lifestyle. New money, nice house, I cleaned it up, and that seems enough. But I don't know what you want. You thinking of it make me wrong. And has it been too long?
Yeah. This is sadly a debate game, but it's a fine line to play because, if you stick around for too long, you might just die. If you fall back too early, post might not get the full value. So a huge explosive end to the first half. Another great clutch for SCARZ. Nina outperforming his opponents in the 1v1. And it comes down to that split-second decision-making once again. Diffuser at hand, 20 seconds. What are you going to do? It's a fake stick. Go for the pre-fire. Seek the gunfight with the Deimos tracker. 2-4 half, favoring SCARZ. Now they go on to defense and KINOTROPE onto attack.
A lot of good things from both teams in that first half, that's for sure. But of course, it being SCARZ's map pick, we expect them to look a little bit better here on Labs before we head to a very different map in Border up next, picked by KINOTROPE. So, as the operator bands have flown by us, Nick, I'm seeing double Electro Bros from KINOTROPE. SCARZ, though, getting rid of, no surprise, the Grim, but the Thermite as well. Just one of the hard breaches taken away.
I do like me a Thermite ban on Nighthaven Labs and also Clubhouse, actually. There are so many walls that you kind of want to, freely enter and take fights and get these, long lines of sight. And when you're using operators like this, the A Selma Charge, the Binax Kairos, or the Can Opener secondary hot breach gadget, you're much more pre-fireable because it's a very narrow opening and you're kind of stuck by it. You're also often forced to vault through the rotate because you're not going to spend you know,
Rada on
two
the
Selma
side.
charges to make
Finally
a standing
falls.
rotate. That's just like
And
really
Carwow
innovation
cannot
from a
survive. Nina
cost
with the
versus
shotgun.
value perspective.
Makes
so
it
you
a
make a single
1v1.
Selma, and you
Rekka's
gotta
on the
jump
floor.
in and outside that rotation.
And a Vendetta is
So
called
this is going
upon
to
by
weaken
Nina.
your
As he
breaching
needs to hunt
abilities
down
on the
a
attacking
Caillou.
side.
He's got info.
And when
He
you
can start to
ban
force
or
his plant
your
down.
enemy
Nitro Cell
bans
gets
with a Titan
ripped.
Bandit,
Nina
you
fakes
can play
it.
to save the ball.
Pre-fire,
So
but
will get
Nina's
opened
just
up.
better.
So why not make that line
Massive
that job a little
3K
bit
from
harder
Nina
for your
to
opponent?
give
I quite
SCARZ
like
the
this
round
trade-off.
and to close
This is
up
my
the
moment
half.
to say hashtag
4-2
justice for
for
Maverick.
the attacking
because Maverick
side.
can open holes just as big as Thermite. Just takes a while.
It's true.
But it's kind of like, well, we banned Kaid and Bandit. Are we seriously going to bring Maverick?
Yeah.
It's like he's the one that counters both of those operators.
Nina with the
Feels
shotgun.
silly.
Yeah.
But you're right.
move,
Like,
simple
on,
play
you
of
said
finding
this
that
all the time,
gun
right?
right.
But if you're really
Yes, push-ups is
efficient
a
Maverick
trick.
player,
Offense is
you can
second.
probably
Now
do
there's
a life
Therma
in this
breach
round.
like
It's possible
Arnold
to win in
12
seconds, 10
Yeah,
seconds.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
SCARZ
This is the
could
play though,
flashbang,
very clearly
a lot of
why
pressure
the
on for
Thermite was
Carwow.
banned, because as you
Switches to the
said,
shotgun on site.
it's a
Meanwhile,
smaller hole.
Caillou
You
knows
knows
that he
by
can't
the A's,
wait
but
much
what's
longer.
more
He has
than
to get
that,
aggressive.
SCARZ are
Got
actually
Rada.
using all of the
Exactly
clashes
right.
and all of the
That's good
Azami's impact
flashbang.
grenades to try and prevent those from
SCARZ
becoming
good flashbang, a
multiple or
lot of
walkable
pressure on for
breaches.
Carwow.
Yeah.
Switches to the shotgun
And
on
it's
site.
why
Meanwhile,
Ace doesn't
Caillou
see as
knows
much
that he
play,
can't
but, you know,
wait
in these
much
type of
longer. He has to
scenarios,
get
but you gotta do what
aggressive.
you
Got a
gotta do.
Rada on the side. Finally
Then Argon
falls.
is shield,
Oh,
they
and
get some
Carwow
space.
cannot
What
survive.
is that
Nina
fish
with the
like?
shotgun.
Looked away for
Makes
a
it a
brief moment. He's starting to
1v1.
get aggressive on the
Rekka's
back
on
of
the
that
floor.
grenade.
And a
now
Vendetta
the
is
jig
called
up.
upon
KINOTROPE
by
are no longer
Nina.
going for their rush.
As he
from
needs
the
to
top of
hunt
blue.
down
They've
a
just
Caillou.
air jabbed
He's got
it off.
info.
But
He can start to force his plant down. Nitro Cell gets ripped. Nina fakes it. Pre-fire, but Nina's just
and really put
better.
a stop to this entire
Massive 3K from Nina to give SCARZ the round and to close up the half. 4-2 for the attacking side.
So he swings out, nades gets used, shield to scope, but he gets the 1-for-1 trade, which if you're a defender, especially with Clash on the board, it's worth it because you want to limit how many different areas KINOTROPE can attack from to make the Clash stronger. And also even arguably the mirror windows, right? On here on Tower Rafters. Because now one player can hold Catwalk and IT, one Clash can hold Aqua, and all of a sudden you have nowhere that you're really scared of being attacked from besides meeting, which two other players can watch together.
Yeah.
So super worth it. Bit of a fortress here on the bomb side with all this piece of utility. KINOTROPE, of course, they got the forward drones, they got the
SCARZ,
grenades in
good
pocket, they got the
flashbang,
Deimos
a
tracker,
lot
below
of
they can
pressure
use.
on for
They still
Carwow.
got ways to
Switches to
problem
the
solve
shotgun
this
on site. Meanwhile,
mentioned
Caillou
the
knows
flash,
that
you
he
mentioned
can't
his arm. Didn't
wait
even
much
mention the
longer.
mirror,
He has to
which
get
doesn't have
aggressive.
any
Got a Rada on the
realistic
side.
counter here for
Finally
KINOTROPE. It
falls.
didn't bring
doesn't.
yet.
And
Ashley
Carwow
made
cannot
it.
survive.
Carly,
Nina with the
Twitch,
shotgun.
it's just the
Makes
Ace
it a
used all of
1v1.
his
Rekka's
Selmas
on the
breaching
floor.
external wall. So
And a
there's not
Vendetta
really
is
any
called
way
upon.
to deal with these mirror windows.
I don't see a way that KINOTROPE should win this round. Like on paper, the util says it's all SCARZ.
Maybe Deimos below is in the wrong location. Shotgun swing by the post. Nina is successful.
And his backside is covered as well by Washo on the rafters. So an attempt at a refrag doesn't work out here for Gatarada. Rex feeling a hell of a lot of pressure, but time is ticking away. Push comes to shove now for KINOTROPE. They have to get desperate. Rek is spotted and taken down, but not finished off as of yet. Carwow is way too far away from the bomb site, and KINOTROPE, they finished the round on time with 3 players left alive. What is going on for KINOTROPE?
That is a tough round at that, but I gotta praise SCARZ right now. Excellent problem solving, understanding where they're the strongest. Nina has pulse shotgun, and sure he has a Reaper secondary, right? But it's not the best gun in the game, we all know that. So instead he plays close IT breach. Or close IT door, should I say, and can swing the breach when the enemy walks up close by. That should be a guaranteed gunfight victory, and it is. That's the 5v4. Then they utilize the Clash for Aqua, and it protects the mirror window player on Catwalk. So Clash is Aqua control as mentioned, Mirror sees Catwalk as I mentioned, and then the only gap is going to be meeting where they sent the other players. SCARZ literally took their brain out of the game and went on a top-down blueprint and said, that's the gap, you cover that, you cover here, now there's no gaps, we can win the round. They covered everything perfectly, and they made it so difficult for KINOTROPE to problem solve that. I think the only way KINOTROPE had like a real way of winning it is if Deimos goes downstairs, breaks the fall with his pistol, shoots the mirror window towards the catwalk rafters, and then starts tracking the Clash, forcing them to go away from the soft floor and into a corner of the bomb side. That's the only way you win. But that requires a lot of things to work out, you know, covering, supporting, flank watching, etc. And there was only like 50 seconds left.
Yeah, and that's really just a testament to SCARZ on that defense. So many different layers, so many different components and obstacles for KINOTROPE to navigate. They couldn't do that. And yeah, just really love it. Really love the level of play that we're seeing from SCARZ today. They're looking in peak form. Again, we shout out him a bunch, but Fish, like, man, this guy is usually like anchored, chained to the smoke, forced to play SMG-11 on defense, forced to play a lot of the thankless roles on attack.
Yeah.
And he's been fragging really good. He's been unafraid of playing aggressive when it matters. And on top of that, you've obviously got Nina, who's hit 10 kills already. It's a really good look for some of the old guard from SCARZ.
It's kind of funny seeing Rek on Clash because he's like this crazy fragger who runs around, but isn't it kind of scary to put that kind of player on Clash with a shield who can now run around without dying? You know, Rek can choose where the fighting happens now, which is quite phenomenal. It's Anakin style. Yeah.
But someone who's not afraid to
think
take a few risks on a shield operator, and maybe they'll surprise you.
it also takes away, like, they might ban the Clash now because the problem, and it's not even like a real operator fault, it's just like a bit of a let's just bring it out for the sake of it type vibe. So I think, again, SCARZ winning on multiple fronts here by bringing out this operator, enabling stuff like the Echo, the Pulse, etc. to maybe survive the ban phase if KINOTROPE were to try and target that instead. And right now, it's just kind of step 2. It's about setup now. They got the roam clear, they got majority of the map control. SCARZ still control vending machines. C4 comes out. That's the problem, though. Claire used it very nicely by running around the building top floor. Now they got the first bit of verticality done. You know, now Recon Clash, if you also can rotate back towards the bomb site and cover this push if there comes one. Right now, he's just kind of baiting on the vert, actually.
Shotgun at the ready for a Caillou. He's going to try and clear the position on the stairs. But meanwhile, Nina's actually gotten active with his shotgun on the Echo. It's a complete bloodbath. It's also a blinding round as a Caillou's flashes come to life. Put a lot of these players onto the pop.
Oh
Over he goes! Beautiful play from the Ying. Supported now by Nina's Yokai drones, but a little bit too late to try and save the life of the player who was on that staircase. Now KINOTROPE have a numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to play?
That's the issue. Timer is so low and Clash is still alive. Yokai drone's giving constant information as well, but not right now by the bomb site. That last Yokai is upstairs, actually. So 13 seconds to walk on in, but there's Rek at the corner.
Yeah, the Clash. He's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out. He can find not one, but 2 kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plant's going down. What in God's name have I just witnessed? Honestly, what the hell, Pengu, was that round?
We're agreeing here that there was a defender outside the breach, right?
Yeah, I thought that attacker was protecting the planter.
I thought so too.
Wait, because the Clash downed someone outside.
Yeah. So
and then there was
down.
Another defender. There was another defender outside.
It was Echo, right? So Rek downs the recruit outside, which is an enemy, and then we're watching a guy outside the breach holding what looked like the default plant position, but that was Echo. And then Ying flanks the Echo outside. That looks like a defender flanking him. Maybe we've seen the replay here. Look at this. Downstairs. Breaks the forward. Let's see it. Shoots the mirror window. So we're outside.
When did he go out there?
Flanking the Clash, forcing them to
when did he go out there?
And into a corner of the bomb side. That's the only way you win.
I think I'm going to need to see that replay another 10 times to understand what happened. I need like the top-down view of where the hell Nina was during that whole situation. Just a testament to SCARZ on that defense. So many different layers, so many
Nina
different
ran
components,
outside to flank
and
with Rek supporting on the double the striker. And then Rek, I think maybe he slowly, like low-key fumbled, he left the Clash shield to kind of run outside the breach. Maybe they thought that the diffuse outside wasn't entirely certain.
Him a bunch, but I think that was not a low-key fumble. Usually like anchored Rek had not run outside the smoke. I think to play SMG-11 on defense. Yeah, if Rek had not left the safety of his Clash shield and tried to vault out the breach, then I'm pretty confident that SCARZ win that round. I'm afraid of playing aggressive when it matters.
I'm right there with you.
On top of that,
but I still can't believe that it was a Ying flanking an Echo outside, because I thought it was going to be the reverse where the Echo was flanking the Ying or whatever. Craziness of the round. This goes to show how ridiculous it can get when you get KINOTROPE and SCARZ in the same match in a 5v5 fashion. Now run around without dying. You know, Rek can choose where the fighting happens now. Now we got the first bomb site though. It plays around both the top floor, the basement, and the primary floor. So there are many ways to attack this one. Most teams historically will just go for a top floor roam clear, do the bird, and walk down towards the bomb site. now because
and
the
they do have the
problem,
ram,
and it's
which
not
would
even
be
like
the
a
case,
real
but an
operator
early
phone.
frag here again.
Let's just bring it out for the sake
Gator
of it,
on the
type
solid
vibe.
snake with the
So I
solo
think again,
entry,
SCARZ winning
again
multiple fronts
successful.
here by bringing out this operator.
Love that. I mean, we
Enabling
saw
stuff
a
like
lot
the
of Gator
Echo,
on
the
Solid
pulse,
Snake just
etc.
last
to maybe
week.
survive the ban phase.
Look at how
if
quickly he's
KINOTROPE were
taking
to try
this
and
map
target that
control. I
instead.
just love to
And
see
right
it.
now,
This is the
it's
real
kinda
benefit
step two.
of
It's
Solid
about
Snake.
setup
Just
now. They
how
got the
quick
roam
you
kit,
can
they
be
got
on this
majority of
entry.
the map
Oh, he
control.
knows the player
Oh,
right
still
on his
control,
breach.
Vending machine,
Goes for a
Eagle comes
pre-fire.
out,
The
but
swing
the
comes
problem
out.
is player
UKID
very
actually
nicely
wins the
by running
fight.
around to go
And
to
the
top
second
four.
one as well for
Now they
UKID.
got the first bit of
Massive
the
ups to
done.
SCARZ as they
No, now
stave
Red
off
Gun
what was a
Clash, you know,
very
can
early
roll.
aggressive
Oh my
play.
God, that can
Carwow,
cover
though,
the push
doesn't
that
slow
comes
down
from.
whatsoever. He
Right
gets
now,
aggressive with the
just kinda
pistol
baiting on the vert,
and
actually.
finds one of the players on that top floor. Now it's
Shotgun
time for Red to
for
fall
Ray.
on back.
He's
KINOTROPE
gonna try and
have
clear the
control of the
position on
top
the
floor,
stairs.
but they have
But
certainly
meanwhile, Nina's actually
been
gotten
bloodied.
active with his shotgun.
And this is the thing,
On the
right?
Echo, it's a complete bloodbath. It's also a blinding round as Akayu's
Again, he got
flashes come
plant
to
and
life.
cover, a
A
goal
lot
for
of these
kills.
players onto the pub.
Let's get
Over he
a goal for
goes.
kills, but look at this
Beautiful
triple
play from the
crossfire
Ying.
established by the
Supported
members of
now
SCARZ.
by
Plus, they could
Nina's
just kind of
Yokai
run
drones, but a
away
little
and
bit
give
too
him the
late to
bomb
try and
side. Only
save
one guy
the
able to
life of
cover
the
an
player who
angle.
was on that
There's always going to
staircase.
be a gap to be
Now
exposed somewhere
KINOTROPE
else.
have a
So
numbers
KINOTROPE
advantage.
again,
Can they
being
convert the
tested
round
their
with 20 seconds to
problem-solving.
play?
Can they find a way to break this round wide open?
Clash is
Or
still
will it
alive.
just be a done deal for
giving
SCARZ?
constant information as well, but not right now by the bomb side. That last Yokai
Kali
upstairs
and Blitz,
actually.
what a combo.
So
Trying
30
to
seconds
fight.
to walk in, but there's Rick at the corner.
I feel like
Yeah,
Carwell's so
the
tempted
Clash
here to
is
take
just
the
gonna look
1v1.
at them.
He
He's
needs
just
to
gonna
find a
watch
kill
the
here.
whole
That was
situation
so well
pan out.
baited by
He can
Rek.
find a
He'll get
one
pretending to
and
look
two
away
kills
and
with
run,
the
try
SMG.
and
He
bait
wants to try and
Carwell
confirm
into
it.
going
Little bit
for
of a
that
funny moment.
ADS,
It
and
just
then Rek
gives
easily
an
shutting him
opportunity
down. Now
to
there's plenty of
KINOTROPE.
info here for the
Akayu
defense.
flanks
Know
outside.
exactly
There
where
was a
Akayu
player,
is. They
and
know
now
he
the
didn't
plan's
stick the
going
plan.
down.
They know
What
the
in
onus is
God's
on him
name
to make the
have I
next move.
just witnessed?
He's not going to be able to find all of these
Honestly,
1v1s, that's for
what
sure.
the hell,
And
Pengu?
Fishlight
Was
just
that
from around
round?
the corner will put him to bed. It's good night to KINOTROPE.
We're agreeing here that there was a
That point
defender
for
outside
SCARZ.
the breach, right?
Yeah, I
That
thought
got
that
flanked by
attacker
the
was
Ying.
protecting the planter.
No, a fast-paced round.
Wait,
thought we were
because
about
the
to
Clash,
control.
They
the
tried to
Clash
go with
downed
the
someone
slow and steady
outside.
problem solver. Now
Yeah.
they're back to
So
just
and then there
trying
was
to
a
match
down-
that aggression.
Was another defender?
Here's the big
There was another
question,
defender
though.
outside.
Do they ban the Clash
And then he-
from
right,
KINOTROPE,
so
or have they realized
Rek
that
downs the
that is
recruit
actually
outside.
not a big issue?
Enemy.
Because the issue is
And
these
then we
upcoming
watched
rounds
this
will be
guy
top
outside the
floor
breach
and
holding
basement.
what looked
Bomb
like a
sites with the
default plan
Clash,
position,
but
but that
some
was
very high
Echo.
success rate.
And then
Oh,
Ying flanks
man.
the Echo outside. That looks like a defender flanking
Oh,
him.
they
Look
got
at the
Ben
replay
Mirror,
here.
actually.
Look at this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mirror's a great operator, very
So we're
powerful.
at-
So
when did he
SCARZ
go
was very
out
well.
there?
They
Like by
were,
Ying.
oh, sorry, KINOTROPE used it
When
very
did he
well. They
go
won
out
their
there?
defensive side on the first half.
Sure.
20 seconds to play.
Yeah, I mean,
As the
it's not like
timer is
KINOTROPE
so low
aren't
and
bringing
Clash
utility
still
to it.
A numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to play?
Any mirrors that they
As
came
the
up
issue
against,
timer is
they
so
were-
low and Clash is still alive.
I think you
Yokai
just play the
is giving
Clash. Yeah, you
constant
just play the Clash,
information
like,
as
why
well,
wouldn't
but
you?
not right now by
And-
the
and
bomb
maybe
side. That
that's
last
kinda
Yokai is
the-
upstairs actually.
We often talk
So
about
30
how
seconds to
he's
walk in, but
banning
there's Rick at the corner.
the same
Yeah,
archetype,
the Clash.
type operator.
He's just going to look at them.
twice.
He's just
So
going to
let's say you
watch
ban Ace,
the whole
Aftermath, the two
situation
Humpers,
pan
you ban
out.
both
He
the
can
Bandit
find a
and the
1-2 kills
Organizers.
with the
You
SMG. He
lose
wants
a
to
lot
try
of
and
value.
confirm
Like,
it.
sure, you
A
cannot
little bit
deny
of a
the
funny
war fight,
moment. It
all
just
guaranteed
gives
breach.
an
But
opportunity
you're
to
leaving away
KINOTROPE.
so many
Akayu
other
flanks
strong defenders
outside.
that
There
can
was a
do
player, and now
either
the
a
plan's
similar
going
job
down.
or
What
different
in
jobs. For example,
moment? It
Mirror
just
Clash.
2
They're
kills
both a
with the
problem in a
SMG. He wants to
different
try
way,
and
yet
confirm
they
it.
also kind
A
of
little
work
bit
in
of
a
a
similar fashion. And you cannot
And
have
the
both
Clash,
because you only
he's
get
just
one
going to look
operator
at them.
ban, so
He's
they
just
ban
going to
the
watch
Mirror.
the
Now
whole
they play
situation
Clash.
pan
And
out.
I'm pretty
He
sure
can
what
find a
happened here had
1-2
they banned
kills
Clash,
with the
Mirror banned
SMG. He
it.
wants to try and
Why is
confirm
Mirror a
it.
big
A
problem?
little bit of a funny
Because
moment. It
SCARZ
just
banned
gives
Thermite in the
an
second
opportunity
rotation.
to
So now
KINOTROPE.
they can no
Akayu
longer
flanks
open things
outside. There was a
because
player,
impact triggering
and now the
support.
plan's
And the
going
breach is gonna
down.
be tiny.
What in
in God's
So,
name
again, I think
have
the
I
SCARZ
just
kind of
witnessed?
not winning the game in operator ban phase. but
Honestly,
if they give
what
themselves
the
an
hell,
advantage by the
Pengu,
operator
was
ban
that
phase.
round?
We're agreeing here that there was a defender outside
That was
the breach, right?
Yeah, I
So
thought
they're
that
playing by
attacker
the
was
rules.
protecting
so
the
well,
planter.
A lot of it comes down to the mind games. Like, well,
Like,
we know
because
what we
the
like
clash,
to play, and they know
the
what
clash
we like
down
to play,
someone
and
outside.
We know that they
Yeah.
know that we.
And then there was a
like to play. It's just, like, how do you throw curveballs when you guys
Because
know
the
each
clash-
other so intimately?
The clash down
Have a number. And I mean, you just try anything you can.
Planter!
in the operator phase. The bands
have a
force the
numbers
picks as well.
advantage. Can
In
they
this case,
convert the
Clash
round with 20 seconds
has
to play?
counter on the attacking
As
side.
the issue,
It's
timer
down
is still
south
low
for
and
Galarada,
Clash is
but
still
the Clash
alive. Yoga is
herself
giving
does counter
constant
as well.
information as well, but not
Monsi-
right now by the bomb side.
So
That
there's
last
so many
Yoga is
layers to it.
upstairs
It'll come
actually.
down to how
So
the
30
round
seconds to
plays
walk
out.
in, but
For
there's
now,
Rick in the
Denari
corner.
is actually slowing
Yeah,
down.
the
problem.
clash. He's
This
just going to look at them.
push
He's just
from
going to
KINOTROPE.
watch the whole
Down
situation
below. This
pan
is one
out.
thing that
He can
KINOTROPE
find not
Oh
one
my
but two
God.
kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plant's going down. What in God's name have I just witnessed?
Yeah, also prone to a
Honestly, what the hell, Pengu?
Because you watch zone flank very effortlessly. C4
Have a numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to play?
I think it might have killed
timer
the
so low and Clash
was
still alive.
Yoga
Yoga
giving constant information as well, but not right now by the bomb side. That last Yoga is upstairs actually.
So
Walk is open regardless.
Wing here maybe. The flashbang might have just kept him at bay for a moment. Akayu now feeling a lot of pressure as he's at that breach. Fully deployed both of his cannon openers. He has quite a line of sight. And he'll just constantly be able to call out to his team where these SCARZ defenders are playing. Wow, big swing from UKID. He's been wanting to go for that swing for quite some time. Finally, he gets it, and it's goodbye to the Nomad of Aegator.
I mean, that's a crazy swing. It's a 5v5. You're setting up. You're in such a good spot if you're KINOTROPE. Boom, you get a wide swing by an Ella and you lose. This is a great bit of verticality, but look at how Rake is navigating this on the soft floor. So beautifully, just rotating back and avoiding that damage.
Numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to play? And swings for another one, though.
So low and
Minas under a lot of pressure, holding on to two different avenues at once, but he will find one kill before being traded. That was well played by KINOTROPE. Just held on long enough, did enough damage against Kino.
He's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out.
Not where you want to be. And UKID's found his third. It's Eclair to try and stave off SCARZ as they go hunting. It's a big round from UKID and for SCARZ. Our first map in the bag. It was back and forth, but at the end of the day, there's no question
Have a numbers
who played better
advantage.
on Nighthaven Labs. SCARZ get the better of KINOTROPE on the first map, but we're not done yet. Border is coming up next. Have a numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to play? Seconds to play.
That's the issue. Timer is so low and Clash is still alive. Yoga is giving constant information as well, but not right now by the bomb side. That last Yoga is upstairs actually. The 13 seconds. Bomb side. That last Yoga is up. The bomb side. That last Yoga is upstairs actually. The 13 seconds to walk in, but there's Rick in the corner.
Yeah, the Clash. He's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out. He can find not one but two kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plant's going down. What in God's name have I just witnessed? Honestly, what the hell, Pengu, was that round?
We're agreeing here that there was a defender outside the breach, right?
Yeah, I thought that attacker was protecting the planter.
I'm breaking necks and I'm wilding out. Throw my elbows up and my money out. Cause I came to get down, so let's run it up. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
The bomb side. That last Yoga is upstairs actually.
upstairs actually. So 13 at bomb side. That last Yoka is upstairs actually. So 13 seconds to walk in, but there's Rick at the corner.
Yeah, the clash. He's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out. He can find not one but 2 kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plans. Confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now.
If he goes uncontested and the kit goes cold, that will be devastating. The grenade goes through. That's the swing. Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away.
And the plant's going down. Just gives with the SMG. He wants to try and.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold.
Confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plant's going down. What in God's name have I just witnessed?
Take the 2-1 win.
Both players spotted, but the res can be made successfully.
Oh! Got another one for Solitov. Information from the bees. It goes in. Shotgun. They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive, Ollie, but he's using the stim pistols. Look at this from the dock. Surely not.
Honestly, what the hell, Pengu, was that round?
Plays the game, hits the
Bomb side. That last Yoka is upstairs actually. So 13 seconds to walk in, but there's Rick at the corner.
Yeah, the clash. He's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out. He can find not one but 2 kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE. Akayu flanks outside. There was a player, and now the plant's going down. What in God's name have I just...
He will down BC, Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necroc's the final defender against Vertical, the ace. Absolute domination.
You believe in magic, Michael! Team 1 does as they win the Mexico Major. The best that this region has got to offer.
Well, a great showing from SCARZ on Nighthaven Labs. So KINOTROPE actually didn't look too half bad, Pengu. It was pretty back and forth. There were good moments, but SCARZ just looked so prepared coming into this game.
Right from the Operator bans to the small counters, forcing the clash in the mirror at the same time, impact trick in the wall breaches, like that's where SCARZ were strategically better. And I think the cherry on top that made the scoreline as, you know, divided as it was, the individual swings and gunfight prowess of SCARZ. Right here we see a Nina 1-1 clutch in a second, but that's not the big thing. It's actually when it's a 5v5 round, SCARZ are so unafraid of going for a swing and just win these gunfights out of nowhere and always bringing either numbers back to their side evenly or to their advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Look, Nina, Fishlike, and UKid all had 4Ks, and Nina also had a 3K. Fishlike had a 1v2. It was just great moments from a lot of stars on SCARZ. And something I said in the game is Fishlike's not usually associated with being a star player on this team. So great to see him firing all cylinders. How did KINOTROPE get back into it? Border is their map pick. Maybe that will help them out, Nick. I'm not convinced.
Neither am I. I feel like the way that it worked before for Border is going to favor SCARZ all the same. So let's get into the action and see if the teams can show us what's going to be different. Can KINOTROPE bring it back and take us to a third map, or will this be a decisive 2-0 for SCARZ?
It's a big question, isn't it? Now, coming into today, we certainly didn't expect this to be a whitewash either direction. These two teams have so much in common, not least of which is the players on these rosters. Of course, Eclair last season was coaching for SCARZ. Gator was playing for them last season. Yukiz was playing for KINOTROPE. These guys know each other so well when it comes to their strategies, when it comes to how they like to play. And just as human beings, you see that in the way that they play. You see that in the way that they interact in the old chat as well. And when a spot in the upper bracket final, which makes you just 1 or 2 wins away from the championship in APAC North, and therefore a spot at the Salt Lake City Major, well, you're going to bring out all your stops, that's for sure. I would really hope that KINOTROPE have more than what they've shown so far on that first map.
We're seeing the Mirror Asami ban come into effect, and immediately off the rip, the Clash gets brought out once more. I feel like for Border, Clash's pick rate isn't necessarily the highest in the world, but it's one of those cases where it's just such a difficulty for KINOTROPE to deal with. We saw that on Nighthaven. Why not bring it here as well? And this is the thing, right? If you keep playing the mind game, play the Clash maybe the first 2 out of 3 rounds, or maybe even all 3. Now they're forced to ban that operator, and then I'm sure that they're going to have something else they can toy with later, and then be the new thorn in the side of KINOTROPE. So I think SCARZ, once again, off the rip, have a really good read on operator bans and operator picks. That last show guys upstairs actually. So 13 seconds with the Mirror in the corner as far as I got.
Yeah, he's just going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out. He can find not 1 but 2 kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE to confirm it. A little bit of a pause with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it.
Okay.
Grim is still not that much played, you know, except for the
not 1 but 2 kills. Whole situation pan out. He can find not 1 but 2 kills.
These days,
he's going to look at them. He's just going to watch the whole situation pan out.
Do you feel like he needs to be curbed a little bit, or do you think it's just, you know, it's just a good op and he sits in a good spot?
I think when they changed the interaction with
he can find not 1 but 2 kills with the SMG. He wants to try and confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives an opportunity to KINOTROPE.
Correctly and Grim spotting people. That last show guys upstairs. Nowadays, you will still get spotted if you're in a mute jammer and getting Grim.
Vigil's like the only technical counter.
It's super out freeze technically, you can do it. So 13 seconds to walk in, but it's a bit tricky. You gotta freeze the canister before it opens.
He's just gonna look at them. He's just gonna watch
canister in your hand and toss it the second that you hear the Grim canister being shot out. Good stuff.
It's similar to, like, you can actually shoot the Grim canister, but only before it deploys, which is about like a, you know, half a second window. Maybe if, you know, if he's too good, maybe just increase that window. Any particular operators that you want to, like? We've got some time. We can go podcast mode. I'll give you one operator that you
the whole situation
give elevator pitch of how you would change them, whether it's a buff or a nerf. 3, 2, 1, go. Elevator pitch.
Okay.
Pan out. He can find
the way that I would like to change an operator is gonna be to somebody who used to be very low and now is kind of not talked about much. It's our Lord and Savior Tashanga. Right?
Kills
and there are many ways to make the game
with the
better.
SMG. He
but
wants
I
to
think
try.
the most fun version to do it is take some inspiration from Buck.
I confirm it. A little bit of a funny moment. It just gives.
Onto the Molotovs. Pew pew. Back to weapon. Pew pew. Because right now the whole weapon swapping. Think of Capitao, Sophia. Think of Tashanga. That's what kills it for me. And when you're in defense, the difference is that you're often on the bomb side, flashbang, nades, verticality, Demos tracker, they're planting, you're being shot at, like there's so much chaos. When you sit there and gotta swap to your gadget weapon where you can't shoot any bullets out of and fight back, it just means that Tashanga only works in a perfect scenario and not just like on the fly in the chaos of a round.
Yeah, no, good point. The Lord needs some love, and so do we. So let's hear from you guys in the Twitch chat. What operators do you want to see tweaked, buffed, or perhaps curbed a little bit? It's A time for us to just sit and chill for a minute because SCARZ and KINOTROPE will be back into it in just a few moments, so stick around. Border will begin any minute now, so we'll be back with you in just a moment. And not one, but 2 kills! And so we're about to get back into Border, KINOTROPE and SCARZ. About to kick off the second map of the series, of course. First map was phenomenal. I'm actually just going back and looking at the Twitch clip at the moment of what happened in that one chaotic round where there was an attacker outside and then a defender who flanked and went outside, and then an attacker that was outside to flank the defender who was outside. It was a very strange moment. Good times, though. A lot of chaos on Nighthaven Labs. What's a more chaotic map than Nighthaven? Oh, Border. Border's a very chaotic. Border's probably the most chaotic map. So, despite it being KINOTROPE's pick, SCARZ tended to thrive more in the chaos on map 1. Will that trend continue, I wonder?
Yeah, it's again, we saw just like the very beginning of technically this round before it got rehosted. So the operator picks and the slide setup. We spoke about the operator bans. I was like, oh, I saw the mirror, the Asami, and I think I saw a Grim. Grim is correct, and so Monty as well from SCARZ's side. And again, this is where I want to give a slight nod to the SCARZ, right? They banned Monty, probably the one shield operator that can somewhat deal with, you know, the mirror windows and the clash by walking into the building. Pretty alright, pretty safe. Now, it's like, okay, KINOTROPE, they ban the mirror. Fair enough. They ban the Asami. Fair enough. You bring out the clash. Now the attackers cannot play any of the other shields because it's basically unplayable against the clash, because whenever you sap them, it fully shield guard break animation. Shield guard breaks the shields on the attacking side, so you can't really do anything. And then, how do you deal with the clash? You gotta start playing Capital, all these other things. They're doing that right now. They're Ying spamming, zero camps, and they got the Capital. But who's gonna plant in this scenario? You just rappel in sandwich window and hope for the best? Like, they don't have a shield operator, right?
Yeah, I'm not convinced that the hope and pray repel in with some util is ever going to work that well.
No.
Like the idea with a Ying shoddy, but I think they need to clear out some of the they need to clear out some of the thorn traps as well. There's a bit of util on the site that perhaps the zero camps could find.
So they're Twitch below watching for the flank C4s. They're gonna spam Kadeda's rappel in, Capital Fire.
That's a swing.
And what?
I feel like we need Gatorada to make a play from outside on the balcony. Still no one is in the building. Oh, the repelling is actually happening downstairs. This is interesting. It's a big bluff from KINOTROPE, but SCARZ haven't been baited into overextending. Fishlike is very low on HP, but outside of that, SCARZ are actually pretty fine.
I guess they're gonna force, as you said, like a swing and a movement from SCARZ first, but unsuccessful. Here comes the last bit of util and call. They have to go off of this. They spent everything they have in pockets. It's now or never, guys. You gotta go.
Wow, cannot survive. Again, Nina with the shotgun. They don't have makes it a 1v1. Actual hammer to go with his anvil. Finally, and a vendetta is called upon by Nina of Armory, and Carwow needs to hunt down Akayu. He's got info. He can start to force this plant down. Nitro Cell gets ripped. Nina fakes it. Pre-fired, but Nina's just better. Massive 3K from Nina.
Lift the pocket, like I said, but they got 2 picks off it, and Rake, They got the Clash on one single point of health. Not Wreck this time, actually, playing the Operator. It's going to be Fishlight instead. But the question is, what about the timer? 30 seconds? And now they're just baiting for their Luke. They're baiting for their Rooney.
Oh, it's so good for UKiz. And now Fishlight is in a great spot to give call-outs for UKiz for a second one. Now, desperately, KINOTROPE need to bring this back. They had a 2-player advantage, but the SCARZ defenders are actually quite low, particularly that Clash. This really comes down to UKiz, what he's able to achieve. Now that he's got that diffuser, it's going to have to be a big pick. Now UKiz the last one standing. There's only 1 second left. Eclair will find him and put him down. KINOTROPE very, very close, but they just barely get it across.
That could have been such a disaster round. I mean, I really want to praise how they tried to win that. It's effectively a 2 versus 5, more or less, right? They get the 2 kills outside CCTV, they put the Clash shield down, they know the rappel angle's a bit vulnerable, and then you just try and play the timer. Yes, this right here, that opened things up, really well played, but then we see the counter response. There's like, what, 1 second left? At 1.74?
Yeah, that's very close.
And it's just thanks to Eclair just crouch walking into break room on the Twitch, just not making that much noise that Rooney won't hear exactly where that attack is coming from. So KINOTROPE, I mean, creative problem solving, I gotta tell you, but also very creative round execute. Rappelling in ventilation window, baiting the sound to make somebody swing so you can get a trade kill from Akav's window. And while the plan A didn't really work, I feel like as crazy and odd as it looked, it was pretty well thought out. Yeah. And there was definitely a plan in motion there going, if we do this, they're going to do that. And if they do that, we get the counter. The issue is SCARZ just didn't care what they were doing. They were just sitting in their corners.
That's the thing I don't quite understand. Like, what was the end goal there for KINOTROPE in that round? Was it just, let's do all this stuff, and then SCARZ will make a move and we'll find a free kill, we'll convert the numbers advantage? Was there more to it than that?
It very much looked like it, yeah. I mean, to me, that's what it was, because, I mean, looking at the operators and who had diffuser being the Ying and whatnot, there's no way you realistically think you can just rappel in a plant, right? And you obviously, you're covering the C4 below with Eclair and Twitch and Workshop, so it had to be a matter of, like, SCARZ have to react now, and then we're just gonna watch the angles from Akav's door far away, Akav's window far away, and when we get a kill or 2, then we can make the actual execute. But that just never happened.
Well, this time around, it's UKiz doing his best Noah impression. Noah in secret, of course, on border at the 6 Invitational was unbelievable playing this position with an Ella. UKiz last round was doing it with the Rooney DMR, which is my personally preferred operator to take this position. Obviously, the util's really good, but just at that long-range gunfight, that DMR packs a real punch. But UKiz confident with the Scorpion. I mean, it's a mean weapon if you're good with it. If you know how to play with that new recoil, you can do a lot of damage. For now, though, Rek is going to be the first one to taste a little bit of damage from KINOTROPE as they try and nade him out of his position on the east stairs.
Can't really find the angles, though, is the issue at the minute. The issue at border is that a lot of teams start playing smoke on east stairs, and whenever they start pushing from the attackers, you toxic bait them out, and you kind of reset the round 3 separate times. And look at this, 1 minute 20 seconds, attackers only now inside east staircase, smoke's falling back, he's alive with a great push here. Gator, with the quick box skeleton key, opens up the multi workshop, vertical kill as well, then trade it back, good response there from SCARZ, back to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, still big moves from Gator to find 2 kills against his former team. Now Akayu's deep into the bomb site with this Twitch drone. Now he can shock out any of these Vulcan canisters, find a lot of the traps that have been prepped, which is really important when it comes down to that late round push. But KINOTROPE.
Gotta find something here.
Good shot.
There it is, DMR from Passport, a great shot at that. Now they have Kawa and Black, you can kind of safely get that diffuser inside the bombs, and there's no more plan now. No smokes, no Ella traps. They have to go for kills now for SCARZ.
Oh, good angle. Oh, how does Rek miss that chance? To deny that plant, that would have been everything. And now KINOTROPE are on the verge of putting this round to bed. UKiz trapped inside a bathroom, finally finished on out. Great round from SCARZ. Really led the way, did Gator in through vents, and well, after that, I mean, it was much harder for KINOTROPE to... sorry, much harder for SCARZ. Man, I'm getting so confused. Can I just say...
You are.
Man,
The jerseys,
The
the former
jerseys,
players.
the fact that Eclair and Ayagator are playing on KINOTROPE, not SCARZ. The fact that UKIZ is on SCARZ, not KINOTROPE. And like you said, the jerseys look identical. I am getting so trolled right now.
It's been the theme of the day. It's been guess the player, guess the team, and it's like,
Dude, it doesn't help
rain
that
is not
everyone's
raining.
changed their names. Like even, UKIZ has actually changed his name to UKid Inho, which is confusing because there's a Brazilian player called UKid, which is different to
there is.
this UKIZ. So man, and look, let's not even talk about Fishlike, whose name is Osadinho, which is, I mean, I've had enough of it. I've had enough.
But why? Why is this the case? I don't get it. NAL had the same issues last night where you had forces called FR or FRO. And it's like, it's just hard to realize when you're in the heat of the moment, like who's who and what's happening.
I think it's Jigsaw and Tuhan as well on Enterprise in OCE have completely unrelated names. A lot of the OS players do, some of the Asian players. It's just, it's too much. It's too much.
Of course, the working theory here going into this, not the upcoming round number 4, is that SCARZ are trying to force out this clash for the sole purpose of an operator ban to then have freedom in the operator ban selection going forward.
Yep.
That's why we're seeing it once more here again. Is that top floor attack? It's actually a very similar lineup to what we saw before. Yes, there's no Ying, but they got the Capital, they got a flank watcher downstairs, they got the Dokkaebi. This could be one of those rounds again where KINOTROPE they do something out of the norm and it has to just catch SCARZ by surprise. But this time, Ayagator being on the Solid Snake means he can go for a rat play around the building with that scanner and maybe make a play happen elsewhere as well.
Loving the amount of zero that we're seeing from Kawa.
These are pretty good.
So much info being gathered from these SAM cams. You can also clear a lot of util with it as well. The laser. Out comes the logic bomb. As KINOTROPE start to make their way forwards. Fisher guy being the first line of defense. Gets the fire in from behind him. He's going to take a hell of a lot of damage before he can escape. He actually cannot escape. Great usage of the Capital's fire to prevent him from retreating. But yeah, unfortunately, Akayu immediately then team kills his teammate. Up to KINOTROPE to now bring back the numbers advantage that they squandered.
That might make the plant more difficult because that were the two players outside Archive's window who one can plant, one can cover. Now one can plant, but then there is no cover. So either you rotate the entire attack, wait for a player to rotate, or you just change the plant position entirely. Because you see Eclair, once again, like Twitch before now, Flores, is holding that C4 downstairs. There's a very clear plan. The yellow ping is sort of in this area. Can't quite hit the mark, though. It's a sound call, I guess.
Yeah, sound call from Ayagator on the window here, and it's tough because there's no util and there's no real vertical potential there from Eclair downstairs, but Akayu does eventually find the kill onto Washoy, which was a Thorn. I thought that was almost going to be a kill there for Ayagator. Akayu is forced out thanks to the Thorn trap, but thankfully Gatorada has opened up a hole on the bomb site by entering into Archives. Advantage KINOTROPE as UKIZ and Nina. Oh, that's a good read from UKIZ there. Sees the player, gets the down onto Gatorada. 2v2. And now this looks winnable. Eclair's in a really rough spot, actually caught between these two SCARZ players. With 15 seconds, he doesn't have a lot of options. He's got to support Akayu for this execute. And there's barbed wire to walk through as well. Eclair has to come up big here, but Nina's got him. He's found him with the shotgun in close range on the castle. And Akayu will surely not be able to find both of these kills. The first there, but no, not the second.
Ooh.
Good retreat there from SCARZ, and they lock in that round.
Does feel a little bit like KINOTROPE are tagging with 3 or 4 people in this round. I mean, one, there was a team kill. That, I think, was the biggest problem. The second one is Eclair spends the entire round downstairs in the workshop. Then he spends half the round after that on the main stairs, just holding a passive angle. Not baiting in the 2v2, but certainly not really coming fully in to help his teammate either. You could just put a drone in workshop, and then that dead player who dies, Kawa in that case, can watch the drone, and Eclair can go do something else on the map. I do feel like they could utilize the player spots a bit more there. To a massive surprise, it's a Thorn ban actually. So they say half the clash. We don't think you played it very well. We won 2 of our attacking rounds against it. Let's ban the trap operator of Thorn.
My guys.
They understand ball, huh, James?
They know ball. Look, even if Thorn isn't like the strongest operator ever, I just hate playing against her. She sucks. She's not fun, right? And she tilts me like no other operator. Like for some people that's Clash, right? Or Blackbeard or Blitz. It's like you die to one of those ops and you're like, ugh, I couldn't do anything, whatever. To me, it's Thorn. Like, I hate it. I hate it. Get rid of it. So I'm all about this for KINOTROPE.
I mean, it does also open up a whole new avenue of play, which is maybe a bit more fast-paced. Obviously, the Thorn Trap, unlike Melusi, it can actually do damage, right? Sure, it doesn't slow you immediately, but if it hits you, you'll get like that limb debuff. Same with Thrusters, where your legs are broken, so you can sprint for like a good 20 seconds. But Thorn Traps, they just make you a bit more aware of like, we can't go too quick, because if we go forward, a Thorn Trap pops and a player swings us, we can't go backwards and the Thorn Trap kills us. But if you go forward, the player's pre-firing you, so you kind of just die. Now I want to see a player like Kawa and Gator, so Blackbeard and Solid Snake, actually get a bit more tempo in the server, right? Fast in the building, faster for the roam clears. They just kind of change the pace up a little bit. Otherwise, I feel like the Thorn Bank is a little bit wasted if you're not going to change a little bit around it.
No, you're right. I don't know how Nina's just found Gator so early, but that's goodbye to the Solid Snake. Solid Snake's really good on border, Nick, because the map is so small, so you can really see so much of it at once with your gadget on the Solid Snake. So a good operator takedown early. I don't know how Nina did that. I can only assume it was vertically, perhaps, with that TCSG.
Yeah, I mean, he was in armor, so either vertically or was like armory balcony rappel. It had to be one or the other, and there's no body out here, so yeah, maybe ventilation window, main door, that type of vibe.
Yeah, it must have been.
But losing your Solid Snake, like you said, is a small map where you can scan so much. That's probably going to impact everybody else as well. Because look at the top left, there's not many drones left alive. Kawa's the sole shield. Nina finds another one out of nowhere, seemingly. He's just farming from Armory.
He is, all the way from Armory. Ready to peek anyone he desires. KINOTROPE look to not try and hard clear these positions. Instead, they try and sneak away the parts of the map that haven't been contested by SCARZ. And now it's a bit of a rotation here. 3 SCARZ players in Armory desk looking to try and drop downstairs perhaps, but they need to be careful because Gatorada does have an angle, half an angle onto that drop. Oh, almost catches wreck.
Some people would say bad aim, but we say R4C. It's okay. You're allowed one of those. Not the easiest weapon anymore. Plan-wise, this is a cooked round. You gotta get at least 1 kill here by my count. They got C4, they got Goyo Fire. The Inspiration not gonna find any kills. It's a 5v1, leaving a Claire outside the building. Last man standing.
Washo has always been an MPX demon on the Valkyrie. I'm just gonna say my 2 cents on that. I love to see Washo back on the Valkyrie. SCARZ, back in the day when they were the best team in Japan, one of the best teams in APAC, it was the information gathering. It was Washo always feeding opportunities to his team, taking opportunities themselves. That was a large part of their success. And I tell you what, SCARZ today are really impressing me. I think bringing Nina back onto the roster is an obvious choice, but I hadn't necessarily expected the UKIS pickup, especially when Gator is performing so well. But yes, it's a Claire now just baiting against his former team, and it's going to be a tie of the scoreline here for SCARZ. The question is, will they feed him a pick and jump out? I think they might. Look at least
one.
Wreck is tempted.
They're not going to do it. Oh, that's disappointing.
Save the KD.
Even his teammate of Eclair, Gatorada, was saying AFK, by the way. He's in spawn. I mean, it has felt a little bit like Eclair hasn't really fully been activated yet here on the border attacks. And granted, he's being put on operators like Flores, who has to spend in the first like minute of the round, maybe more, running out the building, using the Flores drones and blowing up certain things in the map. By the time he's done using his gadget, the round is like 2v5, 3v5. It's practically over, right? And that's the issue with operators like Brava Twitch, Flores on attack, and like Echo, Maestro on defense. Siege is very fast-paced and very dynamic these days. It's rare that we see the full timer being in a rank setting, and it's rare that the pace of the rounds are slow enough to comfortably sit on camera so I feel like you're wasting your time, or that other people are fighting a battle that you could help them in if you weren't on that drone. So it's one of those cases where maybe it's time to get off the Flores and play more proactive operators, because we see Gator playing like the Bog, the Solid Snake. He can help his teammates quite quickly. Whereas Eclair being on hard support operators really doesn't seem like he can do much in these rounds.
Well, 2 more rounds left in the half, and SCARZ
And he's back on
do
floors.
feel like they've kind of gained control of the flow of this map of Border. Obviously, they had that flow control for pretty much all of Nighthaven Labs, despite a couple of good rounds from KINOTROPE. And I feel like they finally garnered that as well here on Border. But being the most attacker-sided map in the pool, this is really KINOTROPE's opportunity right now. They can't squander it. They have to go big in these final 2 rounds of the half.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really discussed, is how attacker favorite Border tends to be. I mean, going 2-2 in 4 rounds is actually phenomenal from SCARZ from a statistical perspective. Of course, not every Border game is the same. Not every Border game is necessarily, okay, that's a wall bang and a half. He saw his toes, shot his head through the wall, and Splits looks the wrong way going towards Customs. And they see the diffuser case is also on the ground, so they know that a second attacker has to come around sooner or later to pick that back up, because that's going to be necessary. So KINOTROPE again, all 4 players outside the building, 2 of them practically still in spawn. Meanwhile, diffuser is on the ground, cold.
Yeah. Not great. Not a great start for KINOTROPE. And it looks like it's just taking the wind out of their sails as well. They're not really sure where they want to go through. Nice shot from Ayagator. Not only is it Rek who got the first frag traded back, but the smoke going down, that's a lot of good late round util now eliminated. But KINOTROPE do have to focus up on taking map control, because you look at all these players on the top floor. In fact, it's 3 of the 4 remaining defenders. Obviously, KINOTROPE are not going to be able to execute on the site while that vertical dominance is being retained by the defense. So they get to work pretty quick to clear out these 3 players.
Yeah, it's about just tempo and pace right now. Yes, they got the kill like you mentioned, but they have so much time to make up for that they lost early on with that loss of Cow in the case. But they got things figured out in the 4v4, 60 seconds, attacking top floor, proc that first element on Archive store. Once they start pushing forward, they gotta count it, guys. 3, 2, 1, and push together. But there's no Dokkaebi, there is no shield, it's just guns blazing here on top floor.
Good fire, though, does restrict some of the peaking potential, but not for Nina. Whoever on East stairs is just
today,
really, that might have been a swing from outside.
I think
Meanwhile,
bringing Nina back onto the roster is an
held down the
obvious
fort
choice,
inside of Archives, so no chance here for KINOTROPE to get the job done.
Over on Archives,
Yuki's now found a second one against his old team.
It's a clear now,
Ayagator 1v4 against his old team.
And it's going to
Diffuser
be
in pocket,
the scoreline
skeleton
here
key in
for
hand.
SCARZ.
He needs to isolate
Will
once.
they feed him a pick?
And I think it's going to
jump
start
out?
with
I think
Nina
they
up
might.
at the top of the
Look at
stairs.
one.
Rek
Come
is
on.
tempted.
Who scares him
You're not
off.
gonna
He's
do
going to
it?
fall back.
Oh,
Flashbang over the top.
Save the game.
Sees for a brief moment. Washoe your main lobby, but Nina's hunting for that kill.
Even
And
his
SCARZ
teammate of
do
Eclair,
take the lead.
Gatorado,
Defense is not a worry at all for this very proficient team on Border.
It's not, and with that also in the first half, we got the halftime vibe check as well. We don't. Oh my god, it's early. Oh my god, James, I did it. I did the thing. I was so worried about not remembering it that I called it. Oh my days.
Oh, dude.
You know, on our previous is I messed it up really badly. Okay, we've been working as you've been working for longer than I have, but 3 years going now, right, for me. And now we have this new thing where we call a halftime vibe check break after 6 rounds and a half. I thought it was 2-3 into a 3-3. I thought that's what happened. It wasn't.
It's okay, man. It happens.
Ah,
It's actually a 3-2.
I know.
Which is even better, because it means that, of course, SCARZ now have a
God
chance
damn
to
it.
win the half outright. 4-2 split. It's all right, Nick. Nobody noticed. I won't tell anyone.
You know, maybe it's time to bring out the iPad again. I used to be an iPad caster.
You
have different ways
were.
to take it. I was, yeah, and because of that, I was tracking everything manually. So I would note down like operator bends, the bombs at every round, etc. But then I found out that when I was an iPad caster, it was kind of taking me out of the game sometimes, because I was looking away from the screen to my iPad and not looking at the action, like this spawn peek right now from Nina. I would have missed that if I was an iPad caster, for example, right? And I thought I'm gonna start casting out the iPad for a full year. And I think this kickoff stage will actually be that full year of doing that. But sometimes I lose track of the exact round count if I don't check it every single time.
Sounds like you just need a piece of paper and just tick off the rounds as they go.
Yeah,
Write the
just round
score
one
line
done.
after every round. Not a bad call. Not a bad call, but obviously also a very good start in this round for SCARZ. You mentioned it. Nina found a spawn peak. Goodbye, Gatorada. It's funny. Gatorada, of course, returning
to competitive play after kind of retiring since the CAG days.
Yeah.
Unlike Ayagator, he didn't kind of stay in the scene and play on other teams after being dropped from CAG. I have a feeling Rek's going to die here. Just look at him. He's being watched. He's being covered.
He's gonna go for a swing too, you know it. It's Rek, baby. He's gonna be like, oh, there's a player down here. I'm gonna fight him once or twice, then he might die. Maybe he's gonna have a pop-off moment. He's playing it pretty good right now. Actually, Toxic Babe, stalling for time, and not overexposing himself too much. Being able to second elsewhere, though, denying everything here when it comes to KINOTROPE's entry.
It was a run out as well, and it does go for a third. Finally shut down by the Blackbeard. Now this would be big if Ayagator is able to take down that player. Sees him for a brief moment. Funnily enough, he's just too far away to see him with the gadget. Flashbang goes out. It's the only flash he's got. And he can't go and use the other windows because they've been barricaded. This is a great setup. Really underrated, as you said on the previous map. The ability of barricades to give freedom to the defenders. And Rek has also gassed out that position to prevent Ayagator from marching on forwards. This has been such a stall out. Finally, Carwell finds Rek at the exact same time. He's getting run out on from Break Room by Yukiz as we restabilize into a 3-on-3.
Actually, very winnable round here. They got Intel, they got BB, they got Sukin Dillis in pocket. And they actually have decent time as well. It's 64 seconds. Solid Snake can check all of office right now from East there. The Break Room is in clear, clear, clear. Don't worry about it. But I feel like we need to either see Kawa get towards the bomb side to help get the plant down, or get Ayagator with the Blackbeard to go for a kill.
Oh, it's a big 1v1. What a shot from Yukiz. He's been firing up big time on border. Akayu and Ayagator cannot push for the refrag as of yet. Flashbang goes out, but they're so worried about all the other angles from the other SCARZ players. Finally, Ayagator takes the bomb site, and it's goodbye to Yukid into the 2v2 with only 15 seconds to play. Fishlike and Washoy have spent most of this round sitting back, relaxing, sipping pina coladas on the bomb side, and now it's just Akayu left against two players. He's got no time, has to tank it, and it doesn't matter. There's nothing to be done. SCARZ looking back in peak form, and on border, they dominate in the first half. It's a 4-2 split heading into the halftime vibe check.
Wonder how much shit I wrote down, you never broke down. My back used to be up against walls, it's on the ropes now. Fighting for that feeling we had in your Laredo. Back when you saw the thorns on my crown, more like a halo. My conscience punished me for the past while I was out there trying to ball. Bet you seen through the mask, hope I ain't being brash. If I say you could've split it with me, girl, you would see riches with me if you stuck around through the rags. My motivation these days is different. I mostly beat on myself, I don't wanna spoil a couple things I prayed for and was gifted. Just peep the drive, see how I stayed in my
You ready for your milestone, James?
Keen for that.
Yeah.
I'm out that grave and I'm where life is the only decision. I'm not alone in my plight. I want you alone for the flight. About to take off in a minute. Beat on myself, I don't want to spoil a couple things. I pray for and was gifted. Just peek the drive, see how I stayed in my
You ready for your milestone, James?
Keen for that.
Yeah.
I'm not that brave and I'm where life is the only decision. I'm not alone in my plight. I got my eyes for the flight. About to take off in a minute. If I got come was missing, I don't know who might come up missing. I don't know who gon' be the do it. Thought you were at one time, then got proven not to be so true. I got left halfway, got my mind had to gather some things. Rearranging what really matter, keep casual flings. Set the goal and saw nothing after, had to take a risk. Bet on me, cause that's what it was before you fantasize it. You should dream of a better self, and that's for real. Yeah, still I got my eyes on nothing else in sight, just tunnel vision. If I got commas missing, I don't know who might come up missing. I don't know who gon' be the do it. Thought you were at one time, got proven not to be so true. I got left halfway, got my mind had to gather some things. Rearranging what really matter, keep casual flings. Set the goal and saw nothing after, had to take a risk. Bet on me, cause that's what it was before you fantasize of them. You should dream of a better self, and that's for real. I dreamed it up, changed out my lifestyle.
Bit of a dream start on border for Rek and the boys on SCARZ. 4-2 at the end of the half on the most attacker-sided map in the pool. It's a shame, really, Tengu, if you're a KINOTROPE fan, because, man, we really expected a lot out of them. After that first game against El Paso Lafaux, they looked so good. And even on Nighthaven Labs, they looked all right. But at border, we expect so much more.
Bit of a
Yeah,
dream
and
start on
honestly,
board.
I do think the map
and the
video
boys on
here is
SCARZ.
quite
4-2
challenging
at the
for
end of the
KINOTROPE, I
half
think,
on the
going
most
up
attacker-sided
against
map
SCARZ and not
in
even
the
labs
pool.
into border,
It's a shame,
into
really,
bank.
if you're a
You have not
KINOTROPE
made it
fan,
easy for
because,
yourself. That's what I want
man,
to say.
we really
But that's
expected
also
a
the thing
lot
when
out
you
of them
have
after
new
that
roster
first
with some
game
new players,
against
and maybe even when you have
they
some
looked
inside
so good. And
information,
even on
you
Nighthaven Labs,
players
they
that
looked
go
alright,
from
but
team A to team B
border
and
we
team B to
expect
team
so
A
much.
and so on. Yeah,
You
and
might
honestly,
feel like,
I
we
do
know them
think
on
the
this
map
map, we know how they're
here
gonna
is
play,
quite
but
challenging
then what if
for
they change the
KINOTROPE, I
setup?
think, going up
What if
against
they
SCARZ and
don't
Nighthaven
play the way
Labs
they used
into
to
border,
because they also
into
have
bank
new
players?
players?
What if they just have
You
these
have not made
excellent
it easy
gunfights
for
for
yourself.
yourself?
That's
That's what I
winning
want
every
to
single
say.
time.
But it's also the thing when
That's
you
how you
have
get
good
these
roster with some
4-2
new
sort of
players,
halves.
and maybe even when you have some
Also,
inside
they've been very
information
chatty with each other
you
in
know,
game
players
both
that go
maps
from
actually,
team A to
both
team B and team B to
discussing
team
the
A and
operative
so
bans,
on.
calling each other
You might
baiters and
feel
their
like,
AFK
oh, we
has
know
to
them on this
building,
map. We
all
know
those
how
kinds
they're
of
gonna
things.
play.
But
Obviously,
then what if they change
some
the
vibes
setup?
between these two
What
teams,
if
given that they have
they
former teammates
don't
across
play the
the
way
board.
they used to
Because they also
yeah.
have new players. What if they just have
Very
these
much.
excellent
It's funny, I
gunfights
would have
where they're just
expected that
winning every
KINOTROPE
single
would be able
time?
to read SCARZ
That's
a
how
little
you
bit better,
get
just
these
because
4-2 sort
it's
of
not just that they
halves.
have former teammates in
Also, they've been very
they have their
chatty
former coach
with each other in
Yeah.
game and
Claire,
both maps
like,
actually,
he-
both
he
discussing
wrote the book
operative
for
bans,
SCARZ,
calling
if
each
you
other
will,
baiters
and now
and
he
their
plays for
AFK has
KINOTROPE.
to
You think that would be
building, all
such
those kinds
a
of things.
significant advantage.
Obviously, some vibes between these
to
two
be.
teams, given
You know,
that they
I've
have
got to
former
wonder,
teammates
like, how
across the board.
awkward would it be? This didn't really affect you, perhaps, because you spent
Very much.
almost
It's
your
funny, I would
entire
have
career with
expected
the same
that KINOTROPE would be
roster.
able to read
Yeah.
SCARZ a
But
little
there's
bit
often
better, just
drama,
because
like a player or
it's
a
not just that
coach
they
or
have
an
former
analyst
teammates,
leaves the team,
they get it, but
and they take the whole
coach.
Google Drive with
Yeah.
them or whatever. You know, there's a little bit of politics about
the book.
how do we
SCARZ,
separate like
will.
all of the
And now he
notes and
plays
all of the
for KINOTROPE.
strats,
That would be
all
such
the
a
documentation
significant
that we have,
advantage.
especially for a
to
Claire
be
leading
I've got to wonder,
SCARZ,
like,
right?
how
Like,
awkward would it be?
Yeah.
This didn't really
typically it's
affect you,
the coach
perhaps,
who's in
because you
charge
spent
of all the documents.
almost
Almost your entire
So
career with
this
the
is the
same
awkward thing, because
roster.
obviously we didn't
Yeah.
have many
But
roster
there's
teams
often
where we-
drama, like
How
a
do we
player
fix
or a
Dunas
coach or an
and
analyst
Shachi
leaves a
and,
team,
Gogan
and they
later
take the
on?
whole Google Drive
We
with them
would
or whatever.
remove
You know, there's a little bit of politics about how do we separate like all of the notes and all of the strats, all the documentation
But then
that we
one time a
have,
player
especially
would
for a
check the Google
Claire
Drive for a strat,
leaving
like,
SCARZ, right?
why
Like
have I
here,
got access?
typically
And
it's the coach who's in
well,
charge of all the
blocks that you're getting dropped.
So this is
And
then
they
they
would
would
know
know
that
that
because
because
we've
we've
done
done
the
the
same
same
to
to
a
a
player
player
before,
before, so they
how
know
do
the
we
trick,
do
right?
Dunas and Shachi and
Creates a very
Gogan
awkward
later on?
conversation.
We would remove their Google Drive access
politics
before
and
telling them
taking care
they
of
got
yourself
benched,
before others.
so that they
It's a
wouldn't
tough
copy
one
down a
because
spy
there's so
and
many
take the
moving
strats
parts
with
in
them.
esports in
But
general.
then one time a player would check the
bit
Google
awkward.
Drive for
So
a strat,
who-
be like,
who,
why have I lost access?
dropped the
And it's
quarter?
like,
I'm not able to do much with
I
it.
think it might
They're
be
getting
a
dropped.
quarter. And then they know that
Yeah.
they done the same to a player before, so they know
with the shield.
Look, I'm liking what I'm seeing from SCARZ this round, which I feel like I've said a lot of the times so far in this series. But I love the fact that we're using hard breach on border, the ace and the Hibana, but it's not in your most typical way. No, it's to flush out some of these core positions like break room. It's not just
think it might have
breaching
been
the main
Tunas
wall and
where it happened
executing
with-
onto
Yeah, I
site.
remember they
They're
said
using
that,
this
I'm pretty sure
very
it must have been-
creatively. It's leading A to be exposed. It's led him to fall. I'm liking what I'm able to trade out this round, which I feel like I've said a lot of the
SCARZ
times
might actually be able to
so
pick
far
up
in
fish like
this
this
series.
series.
But I love the fact that we're using hard breach on border,
back of a
the
Valkyrie
ace
camera.
and the Hibana, but it's not in your most typical way. No, it's to flush out some of these core positions like break room. It's not just breaching the main wall and executing onto site.
Wow.
They're using this
Impact
very
from below,
creatively.
finishes
It's
off the
leading
down
A to be
player.
exposed. It's
Meanwhile,
led him to
Akayu
fall
comes through
and
Carlo
swing.
is able to
That's
trade out
very
Rex
nice from KINOTROPE. Now
SCARZ
SCARZ
might
in a
actually be able to
1v3
pick up fish like
this.
you
You
kids
kids
up against this former
Gatorada
team.
on the back of a Valkyrie camera.
I swear the whole
This is
line
a
is
tough
played out in
call now for
break room.
KINOTROPE.
That
They're
we've
looking
seen
at
almost
re-aggressive.
nowhere else on the map.
Or
Again,
not.
Libby in
Hard.
the chat, get the 90 camera.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
can you make
Wow.
a play? It's a
Impact
1
from
versus
below
3,
finishes off the down
C4,
player.
Valcam,
Meanwhile,
Crossfire,
Akayu
and Valkyrie
comes through
lurking
and
down below
swings.
with an impact
That's
grenade.
very nice from
He's
KINOTROPE. Now
impacting
SCARZ in a
from below
1v3.
It's beautiful
You
counter
kids
swings off the
up
contact.
against his former team.
KINOTROPE. He said it started
swear the
looking
whole
good for
line was
SCARZ,
played out
but
in
that
break
was
room.
good
good
Like, we've
adaptation
seen
there by
almost
KINOTROPE
nowhere
to
else
counter the
on the
round.
map. Again, Libby in the chat. Get
I
that
love the
anti-camera
impact from
filled
below
out.
from Valkyrie. It's kind of like this little
Can you make
ego
a
move where
play?
it's like, hey mate, if
One
I had
versus
picked
three,
C4, you would be dead.
C4, Valcam,
So just know that.
Crossfire, and
Just know
Valkyrie
that.
lurking down below with an impact grenade.
Well, that actually is. It's
You
funny
from
because
below
if you
information, it's
if
beautiful.
you took Valkyrie and Pulse and you look at them historically, how you play the
He said it
info,
started
you play
looking
the
good for
C4
SCARZ, but
beneath.
that was good adaptation there
But
by
then
KINOTROPE
we
to
also had
counter
the
the round.
conversation of we don't want Opry operators who have
I love
too
the
much
impact from below from
self-agency,
Valkyrie.
right?
It's kind of like
think
this little
Jaeger
ego move
with
where it's
the
like, hey man,
shield,
if I had picked
you can put down the
C4,
shield
you would
and
be
put up
dead.
the ADSs.
So
I feel like
just know
that will be
Just know
imbalanced
that.
because now you can protect what he brings, and that's not
actually
fair.
is. It's funny
but then
because
Pulse and Valkyrie, if you took Valkyrie
is that they bring info
look at them
with
historically
C4.
how you
And if you
play
took
the
the
info
C4
away
away
from
from
them,
them,
beneath, they would be
but
a
then
much
we also have
weaker
the
operator because
conversation
you have
we
to
don't
play the
want
operators who have
operators
too much
somebody
self-agency,
agency,
right?
like think of
right?
Jaeger
Yeah.
with
I feel like that's a
shield.
funny balance. You can put down the shield and put up the ADSs. I feel like that will be imbalanced because now you can protect what he brings, and that's not fair.
Yeah, look, it's not
But
a
then
hard and
Pulse
fast
and
rule that you
Valkyrie's
never
whole
want an
spiel,
operator
no,
to be
is that they bring
independent,
info
because sometimes
with
it works. And
C4.
look, an
And if
operator
you
that I
took
see
the C4
a
away
lot
from
of
them,
at
they
the
would
like kind of
be
solo
a
queue level
much
because it's
weaker operator because you'd have
like
to
we're
play
saying,
the
like,
Valkyrie
it's
in the
not
pool
as big a
for
deal when you
somebody
have
else's
comms
C4
one
to do the
team.
job, right?
As a solo
I
queuer,
feel like that's
being able
a
to
funny
hard
balance
breach
in
and have your own
discussion where
EMPs is
sometimes
huge.
it's
Which is
fine,
why I actually see a lot of
sometimes
striker.
it's completely the
Wow,
opposite
that was a
of
good
fine.
shot from Iagator and
Look, it's
Washoy,
not
but
hard and fast
it goes
rule
to
that you
show
never
the
want
boss
an
G is not
operator
all it's
to
cracked
be
up to be
independent,
because sometimes it works. And look, an operator that I see a lot of at the
But yeah, so I was saying about striker
queue
level,
level,
he's got
the
the
EMPs and the secondary
like
hard
we're
breach
saying,
game.
like,
It's not as big a deal when
The
you
EMPs
have
aren't as good as
comms
Thatcher,
as a team.
and the
As a
secondary
solo
hard breach
queuer,
isn't
being
as
able
good
to
as
hard
Thermite.
breach
So he's
and
just
have
got
your
a
own
worse
EMPs
version
is huge. Which
of
is
Yeah,
why I actually see a lot of
Sometimes the
striker.
self-sufficiency
Wow,
is just
that was a
about-
good shot from
how
Iagator and
good is it
Washoy, but
overall?
it goes to show that the boss G is not all it's cracked
Looks
up
like
to be.
SCARZ
It
going
only
for a bit
does
of an
about
aggressive
80
play.
damage
The
on the
blitz
Washoy at long
supported
range
by
there.
the Nomad goes in.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
verticality
so
from
I'm saying about
Makai
strikers,
watches
obviously,
out.
he's got
The
the
fish
EMPs
like
and the secondary
Washoy
hard breach
able to
gadget.
trade,
Now,
and it's now awkward.
the
for
EMPs aren't as
KINOTROPE
good as
1
Thatcher.
v3
And the secondary
with
hard breach
Yuki's
gadget
on the
isn't as
ground.
good as Thermite. So he's
That's
just got to
gonna
work
pick up at
version
some point in
of
lobby.
both. And I think sometimes the
SCARZ
self-sufficiency
needs
is
to try
just
and
about
isolate whereabouts
how good is it
Akai
overall.
We know he's up on the
It's about
mezzanine.
balancing the whole kit.
Once Nina
Looks like
has
SCARZ going for a bit of an
E1D,
aggressive
he
play.
might
The
detonate
blitz
it.
supported
The
by
drop
the
should have
Nomad
been
goes
heard.
in. The E1D
verticality
comes
from
out.
Makai
Red goes
watches
with the
out.
swing
The
with the
fish
glass.
like,
Washoy able to
is put
trade,
to
and
bed.
it's now awkward for KINOTROPE
Round
1
from
v
SCARZ
with
with
Yuki's
that,
on the
they are
ground
once again on the
That
verge
could be picked up at
finishing
some
off
point
this
in
game.
lobby.
Quite like that
SCARZ
push,
need to
actually.
try and
I mean,
isolate whereabouts
obviously, it works
is
as good as it did
Akai.
because they had the
We
opening
know he's up
pick
on
and
the
they had
mezzanine.
significant
Once Nina
I would
has
say
an
confidence
E1D,
because
he
there's
might be able to
angles that they
detonate
can
it.
watch against
The
them.
drop should
But
have
the
been
blitz
heard.
down the
The
bar from
E1D
Holy with
comes
a
out.
glass
Rek
smoke
goes to the
pass
swing with the
forward
glass.
because East
And the
is
round
already
is
clear.
put to bed.
Very effective,
round
highly
from
lethal,
SCARZ.
and forces the remaining players of KINOTROPE who are not by the bomb
Side.
itself.
They're using this
come
very
sprinting
creatively.
back to try
It's
and
leading
seize
Agatha
that
to be
round
exposed.
together.
It's led him to
And that's
fall.
what makes
And
these
though Carlo
rushes
is
with the
able
red
to trade
attack
out
so
Rek,
effective. Instead, it
SCARZ
says,
might actually be able to
screw the
pick
Romans
up
upstairs.
fish like
They
this
have to respond
info,
to us
but
attacking
Gatorada,
their
back
home
of a
and
Valkyrie
then
camera.
sprint back into action.
This is a tough call
So I
now for
quite
KINOTROPE.
like
They
that.
look to get re-aggressive.
And the funny thing is, you mentioned
not
that Striker in solo queues, an operator
Oh,
that needs a fair bit of play
okay.
because it can be a self-enabling operator.
Impact from
But
below.
you can also make the
finishes off
argument at the
down
same
player.
time that
Meanwhile,
Striker could be
Akai
one of the
comes through and
best
swings.
hackers in the
That's
game for
very
any
nice
round.
from
In
KINOTROPE.
theory,
Now
for
SCARZ
Cody,
in a
right?
1v3.
Because anything you want, like the most common one that we saw in the
up against
beginning
former team.
was Consulate top floor attack. You know, they have a bandit or kite in the meeting wall, they pre-place it, and no one's gonna bring Thatcher, it's hard to nade it. You can just bring in Peace and a can opener, a nade or a can opener, and you solo can deal with that position while 4 people take admin offices. Phenomenal operator. And it's actually FaZe Clan, one of the best teams in the world, maybe the best team in the world, right? Who has the highest play rate with that operator.
That's a really interesting fact. I didn't know that FaZe had the highest play rate. But yes, great operator. Obviously also got a phenomenal primary in the M4 and the secondary shotgun. So just such a versatile operator. Now, good early spawn peek there, running outside. Rek will go down. That's goodbye to the Ash, which means one less counter to these mirror windows. When I say one less, I mean, well, that the only counter is gone. Aside from knifing those mirrors.
Or shield bashing them, technically. Not a knife.
Sorry, melee.
Melee.
Not to get
Melee
all
or melee?
French on you. I've always been a melee type of guy. Well, I don't know, maybe
interesting.
It's melee? I don't know.
It's definitely one. It can be both, right? It's like it's not a set word. I feel like.
I'm gonna go
Or is
yes.
it
I'm gonna
a-
say it's accent/dialect based.
Yeah, like the American versus UK English type thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Brits say melee. I don't know.
Like I say, both. That's the benefit of being a foreign English speaker, right? Or not native speaker.
Keep it fun, you know. Keep something.
Yeah, tomatoes, sometimes tomato, garage, garage. I change it up.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awkward.
Fishlike has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life.
What the hell was that from KINOTROPE? Thankfully for SCARZ, they managed to find 2 kills back again, and they get deep into the bomb site. Now it's time to try and look for a plant opportunity here, but the Blitz needs to get around it. Meanwhile, the logic bomb rings out. Is there a plant denial here? I don't think there is. Nobody's in position. Nobody seemingly knows about it either. This is going to be a tough retake here for KINOTROPE.
That's cold. Chase outside, straight back. Your teammates got bomb site control. Postman enabled. Smoke from glass and pocket as well. And a Blitz alive. This postman should be practically impossible.
The Blitz can't do a lot from outside of that window, though. The Glass still has 1 smoke grenade left. That could be big here. The Vert, though, comes through as well from Yukiz up above. With Nino on the Glass going down, it comes down greatly to Yukiz. Now he's the last one standing. The Solus is up above. He's been taken down. DMR comes out. All he has to do now is kill the player on that diffuser. Doesn't need to worry about the second player who's covering. Just find that player on the diffuser. Gatorada sticks it and wins the round for KINOTROPE. Yukiz just needed 1 kill, and he could not find it. No match point just yet for SCARZ. KINOTROPE are still battling on border.
Oh, he's gonna feel bad about that one. You know, he was upstairs for so long, didn't double check that the Vert was done for the post plan, but also he didn't want to give away his positioning, right? They thought to themselves, hey guys, the win condition is we're hiding a player up above. They're not gonna know about it. They think we're all downstairs by the bomb site, so just don't make a noise. He didn't feel like he had the space to use his weapons in the post plant to make sure the holes were there. And he realized a little bit too late. The crazy thing is, I think KINOTROPE started defusing with like 7-point-something seconds left or 8-point-something seconds left, meaning had they been 1 second slower, it wouldn't have mattered. It was literally down to the final seconds of the round for KINOTROPE to win that post plant. Phenomenal stuff, and they didn't waste any moments. Like the second that bomb went down, they were running in towards the building thinking customs check, bomb site check, Vert check.
Now this is a big round, Nick. It's either match point SCARZ or it's even scoreline. Big chance for KINOTROPE now. We've had all the bans come out. Valkyrie eliminated, Glaz eliminated. Leaves the mirror in, leaves all of these traps in. I mean, it's a triple threat, right? Fenrir, Ella, and the Thorn. Mucham is not half bad as well. We've seen a lot of Lion play here, so I'm not surprised to see that. Amos as well counted in a lot of these positions where the mute was placed. Notice the mutes are often placed in power positions where you want defenders to be playing to try and protect them against that util instead of just for drone like in the old days.
I could also really see a clash round happen just once from KINOTROPE. Like, let's say we're going to overtime or a 5-5 or a 5-6. Like, I feel like that's going to be a clash moment right there with these operator bans being enabled. Also, banning Valkyrie, who's playing Valkyrie Impacts every round, is kind of cool. Because it's been Valkyrie Impacts every time, not a C4.
Banning an operator against Gatorada is pretty cold as well. It's like, dude, this guy retired. You're still scared of him?
Respect or fear? That's always the question.
Well, look at this from Ayagator. Oh, as if! They trade! And God bless the damage on that AR from Nomad. I mean, if he didn't have that level of damage, that would not have been a trade. He did not get the headshot. Ayagator landed the headshot with a Scorpion.
Yeah.
It's kind of worth it, though, for SCARZ, I'd say. Now they can focus up on clearing the next power position, which will be CCTV.
Shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second. Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwow, who has to get away with his life. What the hell is that from KINOTROPE? Thankfully for SCARZ, they managed to find 2 kills back again, and they get deep into the bomb site. Now it's time to try and look for a plant opportunity here, but the Blitz needs to get around it. Meanwhile, the logic bomb
I think that's
going to
be
is there a plant denial here? I don't think there is. Nobody's in position.
Watching the angle,
Nobody
but they gotta
seemingly
push
knows
somewhere
about
else.
it either.
This is
going to be a tough retake here.
You gotta
for
see
KINOTROPE.
Nina and Washoy getting the action. Chase outside, straight back.
Fire's gone out, but actually there's still a lot of playability here for Gatorada. Wow, that fire should be practically impossible. Huge radius these days. The Blitz can't do a lot from outside that window. A bit of an off angle, and if he's peeked from the window at the same time as left, that could be big here. The Vert though comes through as well from Yukiz up above. Takes a bit of damage. Aggro now for Gatorada, but he goes down to Yukiz. And SCARZ have a chance now into the 3v3. He's been taken down. 45 seconds still to play. All he has to do now now is kill the player
Power is the
on
key
that
pillar.
diffuser. Doesn't
key
need
player.
to worry
He's
about
on
the
that
second
pillar
player
in
who's
the middle,
covering.
right? If
Just
he
find
dies,
that
then
player on the
access
diffuser.
no armor in the
Gatorada
retake,
sticks
and
it
the tank
and
enabled
wins
by
the
SCARZ.
round. The
Unfortunately, he stays alive,
KINOTROPE.
and that's
Yukis just
Player
needed
and Akali
one
do the
kill,
first work,
and he
there goes
could
Akali
not
taking
find
down
it.
Rek. Now they got man
No
advantage.
match point just yet for SCARZ.
gap.
KINOTROPE are still battling on border.
Akayu was able to shut down. Oh, wow, great shot from him. Goodbye to Washoy on the bomb side. All up to Fishlike now. They know exactly where he's coming from. That's an easy swing with the MP7. My friends, we've come all the way to just be tied again. It's 5 rounds apiece. KINOTROPE are battling big time. SCARZ are put under the pump. Nobody seemingly knows about it.
Trap operators, the Fenrir, the Thorn, control, post enable, smoke from glass and pocket as well, and it blitz alive, giving either information, should be practically impossible. Defenders, all outright was
Blitzcon do a lot from outside of that window, though.
It's really good stuff. It's really making SCARZ to rethink the attack and approach here, I think. Either bringing more shields into action for safe passage, or just taking more guns in the same area of the map. Your teammates got bombs that control post enable on 3, for example.
Position.
We saw player E
Nobody
stairs,
seemingly knows about it either. This is going to be a tough retake here for
KINOTROPE. Pushing down outside a CCTV window,
That's
also
cold.
very much on
Chase
their own.
outside, straight
So
back.
it's
Your
3
teammates got
people,
bombs that
sure, they're
control
all
post
trying
enable,
to
smoke
attack
from
the
glass
same
and pocket as
player,
well, and it blitz
but they're
alive.
so far
This post
apart,
should be
it's
practically
taking
impossible.
1 versus 1 gunfights.
Blitzcon do a lot
And they
from
did
outside
not
of
come
that
out
window,
victorious on
though.
those.
The Glaz still has 1 smoke grenade
KINOTROPE,
left.
they cannot
That could
show
be
their
big
hand, right?
here.
They're
The
playing heavy
bird, though,
traps to play in
comes
the
through
mirror.
as well
They're
from
losing them
Yukis
time
up
and time
above.
again.
With Nina
So
on the
up to
Glaz going
SCARZ,
down, it
truly
comes
find
down
a counter
greatly
that
to
works for
Yukis.
them,
Now he's the last one
and then it's up to
standing.
KINOTROPE
The Solar's
after
up
that
above.
fact,
He's
and
been
then
taken down.
counter.
DMR
Now they bring
comes
out the
out.
Bravo
All he
and
has
the
to do
shield.
now
And we
is
see
kill
him
the
deal
player on
mostly
that
with the trap
diffuser.
operators,
Doesn't need to
and
worry
also
about the
the
second
second
player
goal
who's
increase
covering.
as long as
Just
you
find
follow.
that player on the diffuser.
No.
Gatorada sticks it
No.
and
That was
wins the round for KINOTROPE. Yukis just needed 1 kill and he could not find it. No match point just yet for SCARZ. KINOTROPE are still battling on border.
Gadget is destroyed.
Oh, he's gonna
Have
feel
to
that.
hack it.
That's cold.
So, yeah,
Chase
keep that
outside,
in the back
straight
of our
back.
mind
Your
for
teammates
Nina
got
this
bombs that
round.
control. Post on
Hopefully he
nade.
can do his work with the drones as quickly as
That's
possible
cold.
and then just focus
Chase
up
outside, straight
on
back.
being
Your
a
teammates
fragger
got bombs that
for
control.
SCARZ.
Post enabled. Smoke from glass and pocket as well, and it blitz alive. This postman should be practically impossible.
The Blitzcon do a lot from outside
Perhaps
that
taking it a
window,
little
though.
steadier and
The Glaz
slower.
still has 1 smoke grenade
That would be
left.
the
That
way
could
to
be
win
big
for
here.
SCARZ,
The
and I think
bird,
it's also
though,
what Bravo
comes
gives
through
you,
as
right?
well
Guys,
from
I can use
Yukis
my
up.
gadget. Guys, wait, I can use my gadget. Instead of sprinting face first to a barricade. Because if SCARZ can get like closer to the bomb site in that 5v5 or 4v4, we've seen them be so lethal and so successful at getting the plant down.
Yeah.
It's usually when they lose the players early that they get stopped.
I feel like the Bravo's actually really overloaded here.
Chase
Like, looking at the
outside, straight
lineup,
back,
you've got
yeah.
2 bulletproof
That's
cameras,
cold.
you've got 4
Chase
thorn
outside,
traps,
straight
you've got
back, your teammates got bombs that
4
control,
or 3
post
Fenrir,
enabled,
I forget
smoke
how
from
many
glass
Fenrir
and
might
pocket as well,
these days,
and it
plus
blitz
the
alive.
full sheets. Like
This postman
there's
should be
so much
practically
utility
impossible.
that you need to counter, and that doesn't, of course, deal with the Kaid Electric Claws, which you probably want to counter as well. So maybe a Twitch and Bravo combo could have helped. The Twitch could target the mirrors and the thorn traps and the Fenrir mines, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a hard round for SCARZ, that's for sure. There's so many layers to this defense.
That's cold. Chase outside, straight
There
back.
is
Your
step by
teammates got
step
bombs
to
that
pick it
control.
apart.
Post
That goes,
enabled, smoke from glass and
careful,
pocket as
second
well,
or
and it
third
blitz
might clear.
alive.
This might be
This
a free
postman
kill,
should be
James.
practically impossible.
Oh, come on.
Maybe not.
Drops
Blitzcon
down.
do a
They
lot
need to
from
try and
outside
use
that
the
window,
Blitz to
though.
try and expose
The Glaz
Gatorada
has
here in
one
this
smoke
position.
grenade
The
left.
Blitz is
That
playing
could
it
be
so
big
well.
here. The bird,
Rek,
though,
he
comes
can't
through as
reload
well
in
from Yukis
time.
up above.
Another
With the
knockback.
Nina
Still
on
hasn't
the
found the
Glaz
kill, but
going
he does
down.
bait
It comes
Carwow
down
into
greatly
it. And
to Yukis.
Fishlike is able to try and find the kill onto Gatorada itself. So he is self-sufficient as the Blitz in that moment. 4v3 now. SCARZ finding a massive numbers advantage. Looking to convert it now. They put their focus on Malusi.
Rek had the heart-destroying can openers, no frag grenades. That's why that awkward moment happened. A get a strike back onto Rek, who's now dead. Oh my god, the thorn trap popped. The Blitz injured probably from that effect. All of a sudden, that 4v3 is effectively a 2 versus 3. Maybe to a 2v2 here.
Oh, yes, perfect. Very critical kill there for Washo. He's going to die! The thorn trap again! This is why SCARZ banned it on their own defensive side. Now into the 1v1. Gator must look for the retake. Nina knows where that diffuser is. He's got to get it in plant straight away. There's going to be 2 full seconds here where he's not going to be... What is that angle? Gator from all the way up above. He's got the vert. He threads the needle. And he finds map point for KINOTROPE.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a bit of anger if you're a SCARZ player. The Blitz gets injured to a Thorn Trap, and less than 10 seconds later, your ace sends it straight through a window into a barbed wire and will die to a Thorn Trap. It's what I was saying before, when you're playing with the Thorn in mind, it really isn't that bad, but when you're not being conscious of it, these things can happen. The other aspect is that there's gonna be a barbed wire on that window specifically to slow you down because of the Thorn Trap. So if you jump in and see a barbed wire, your brain should go, look for the trap, because you're not gonna make it out alive anyway. We saw that.
Have a numbers advantage. Can they convert the round?
SCARZ have called the tech timeout. They gotta figure things out. It is do or die in terms of this map of border. They did win the first one. There will be a second if they were to lose. But ideally, SCARZ, they want to get it done in 2. Not native speaker.
Keep it fun.
Nerf Thorn.
Yeah.
Hashtag Nerf Thorn.
Tomatoes, sometimes tomatoes.
You said the first game you started today's podcast with.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Hang on a second. Fish Likers run straight outside the window. It's time to go for a plant.
4 or 5 kills for sure.
Yeah.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for
injures the Blitz, for example. To me, that's a Thorn kill. Because the Blitz isn't gonna get revived. He's effectively dead, even if he gets shot by a teammate of yours, right? So I do count those as well.
Here we go. The shield bash comes. Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
An idea of a nerf.
Fish Likers run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life.
All right, what
the hell was that from KINOTROPE? Thankfully for SCARZ, they managed to find 2 kills back again,
killing you,
and they get deep into the bomb site. Now it's time to try and look for a plant.
So like, no matter how much HP you have, you can have 100
to get around it,
or you can have 5. No matter what, it won't actually kill you.
I don't think there is. Nobody's in position.
I've heard the same argument happen to operators like Capcan, where it's like you don't want traps to be lethal because it takes all the fun out of the game as the person that gets, that triggers them.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second. Fish Likers run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life.
Like, use
the hell is that from
KINOTROPE?
KINOTROPE?
Thankfully, but does it feel good, James? When you see that boom, top
Thankfully
right
for
on the kill
SCARZ,
feed, that's what feels good.
Managed to find 2 kills back
So
again,
I think it's hard
and they get deep into the bomb site.
From the player, and they're not gonna want
Here we
that.
go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait,
hang on. Door. Okay. Oh yeah. So the Thorn Trap.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
I like that. Awkward.
Fish Likers run straight outside.
I see what you're saying. I think Capcan, he can be the one operator that gets kills. But even then,
is able to try and find the kill trap to Gatorade itself. So he is self-sufficient.
Capcan's got 5 traps. Thorn's got
4.
Capcan needs
now.
3 traps to kill someone.
Finding a massive numbers advantage.
Technically kill.
Looking at
Thorn
convert
could
it now.
technically kill.
They put their
4 different people with 4
Lucy.
different Capcan traps in 1 round.
How insane is that?
And 5 bullets in the magazine, you can get 5 headshots and kill 5 players. So therefore, bullets are OP as well. You get a strike back onto Rack.
Yeah, bullets are very OP.
Oh my god, the Thorn Trap popped, Blitz into. I think they should have think wallbang shouldn't you want a headshot. I'll say it. 4v3
yeah, I know you do.
Is effectively a 2 versus 3. Champion champ, by the way. Looks kind of nice.
Oh, yes, perfect. Very
I haven't
critical
seen
kill
the
there
game,
for Washo. He's going to die! The Thorn Trap again! This is why SCARZ banned it on their own defensive side. Now into the 1v1. Aya Gator.
I think this might be
must look
just
for the
third map.
retake.
This might
Nina
be it.
knows
Yeah,
where
I
that
think
diffuser is. He's
gonna
got to
be all
get
done
the
and dusted
plant
in a few
straight
moments,
away.
unless
There's
if
going to be 2
Eclair can
full
fumble this
seconds here.
KINOTROPE.
But
He's had
he's
a
not
really
going to
rough run.
What is that
Hasn't
angle?
Coming in to save the day, it's Mr. 16 kills himself. Carwell going absolutely nuclear again. Yukiz and Fish like the last 2 standing for SCARZ. 2 versus 4. Doesn't look pretty. SCARZ started so well. They had a, 5? Very critical kill there for Washo. I think it was. They had such an advantage here over KINOTROPE. Big Nitro Cell comes through for Gator, but Fish like managed to survive only for a brief moment before getting injured again. Yukiz has to stay to convert it now.
KINOTROPE pushing it to a 3rd map. On Malusi. I don't think it's likely. He's trapped here in bathroom. Gets the res. Carwell looks for an aggressive swing. You're right. There is no rotate. Doesn't need to be. Bomb site is over in vents. Carwell, a triple on the round. His 17th kill has been claimed, and he finds an 18th. That closes the map for KINOTROPE. Border Stratton so roughly. Very critical kill there for Washo. He's going to die. The Thorn Trap again. KINOTROPE manages to bite back. Map 3 of Bank is coming up after this.
That 4v3. all of a sudden that 4v3 is effectively a 2 versus 3, maybe to a 2v2 here.
Oh, yes, perfect. Very critical kill there for Washo. He's gonna die! The Thorn Trap again! This is why SCARZ banned it on their own defensive side. Now into the 1v1. Gator must look for the retake. Nina knows where that diffuser is. He's got to get it in plant straight away. There's going to be 2 full seconds here where he's not going to be... What is that angle? Gator from all the way up above. He's got the burn. He threads the needle. And he finds map point for KINOTROPE.
Okay. All of a sudden that 4v3 is effectively a 2 versus 3, maybe to a 2v2 here.
Oh, yes, perfect. Very critical kill.
All of a sudden that 4v3 is effectively a 2 versus 3, maybe to a 2v2 here.
Oh, yes, perfect. Very critical kill there for Washo. He's gonna die! The Thorn Trap again! This is why SCARZ banned it on their own defensive side. Now into the 1v1. Gator must look for the retake. Nina knows where that diffuser is. He's got to get it in plant straight away. There's going to be 2 full seconds here where he's not going to be... What is that angle? Gator from all the way up above. He's got the burn. He threads the needle. And he finds map point for KINOTROPE.
All of a sudden that 4v...
They've come out windmilling like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino!
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that will be devastating.
Have a numbers advantage. Can they convert the round with 20 seconds to...
Get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs. Wow, that was special.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold, and they're pushing him from behind. He's found one. He's got to get the vertical as well. They get pulled off him. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds. Ryder's got another. He's held on.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a play. Wait. Hang.
Spotted, but the res can be made successful.
Here we go.
Information from the bees. It goes in. They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive. He's using his stem pistols. Look at this from the dock. Brilliant. That's the dash. He doesn't have the concentration. He's going back. He gotta go. A few seconds. Stick it, Ness. Stick it.
This is an angle that he might be able to contest. No, unfortunately, he takes just a bit of damage there. A walk, I guess, the second one. Eclipse, though, will get one, turning it into a 2v2. Now they push it on the side. The Bandit will lose out on this. Eclipse, the last alive on the Ella. Spots the head and takes him down. The ace for Waka.
He will down BC. Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necrox, the final defender against...
To get away with his life.
Absolute domination.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. Window is time to go for a plant. Wait.
Wait. Time to go for a plant. Wait. Hang on a second. Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life. Comes in onto the mirror. Ash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait. Hang on a second. Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to Shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell. Comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second. Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell. A second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell. Like has run straight. Bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second. Bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life. What the hell was that from KINOTROPE? Thankfully for SCARZ, they managed to find 2 kills back again, and they get deep into the bomb site. Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the... Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and... Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life. What the hell was that from KINOTROPE? Thankfully for SCARZ, they managed to find 2 kills back again. Who managed to get away with his life. What the hell was that from KINOTROPE?
Like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino.
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that'll be devastating. The grenade goes through. That's a swing.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life. What the hell was that from KINOTROPE?
They get pulled off him. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a plant. Wait, hang on a second.
That's awful.
Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell, who managed to get away with his life. What the hell was that from KINOTROPE?
From the bees, it goes in. Sevens. They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive, Ollie, but he's using the stim pistols. Look at this from the dock. Surely not. Brilliant. That's play of the year in my book. Plays the game, hits the old body, doesn't quite catch it. There's the impact.
He gets it.
There's the down. He doesn't have the concentration. He's going back. He's not quite sure. He
Nesk, you gotta
has
go.
a few seconds. Stick it, Nesk. Stick it.
This is an angle that he might be able to contest. No, unfortunately, he takes just a bit of damage there. A walk, I guess, the second one. Eclipse, though, will get one, turning it into a 2v2. Now they push it on the side. The Bandit will lose out on this. Eclipse, the last alive on the Ella. He spots the head and takes him down. The ace for Waka.
He will down BC, Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necrox, the final defender against Vertical, the ace. Absolute domination.
He gets it just in time! It is Impact Norman!
They are the best that this region has got to offer.
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a play. Hang on a second. Fish like has run straight outside to try and chase down Carwell.
And look what's happened, Pengu. We're going the distance to map number 3.
Yeah, and honestly, it's very deserving. I thought KINOTROPE, I think most of us was watching that border game. We saw a 2-4 half or 4-2 half for SCARZ thinking, it's over, it's 2-0. KINOTROPE did not have that level of consistency that we thought they did. We were wrong. They go on defense and defend their side of border. Third map needed, and it's Bank, a map that both teams historically have always liked.
A lot of big hero moments as well. Carwell, 18 kills to 7 deaths. Akayu, 10 and 5. It's funny because a team typically makes big roster upgrades and the new pickups tend to be the star fraggers. But no, it's the two classics, the two who have been there since the very beginning for KINOTROPE that really led the way, paved the way tooth and nail on border for KINOTROPE. Great showing from them. But as you said, Bank as our decider is going to be a challenge for both teams, no doubt. Do you have any inklings based on form?
Here we go. The shield bash comes in onto the mirror window. It's time to go for a play.
Map 2.
Hang on a second.
Convincing win. It was a great
Fish like has run
comeback win.
straight outside.
What do we think about for map 3?
I still think that SCARZ have a slight favor there just because it's Bank and how they played it last playday. So slight favoritism, but if KINOTROPE bring out something funky like those spawn traps again and it goes unpunished by SCARZ or uncountered, KINOTROPE could do some funky stuff to bring it back.
Yeah, we're about to get into it. It is Bank, KINOTROPE, and SCARZ. It's been a long time since we've seen KINOTROPE play this map, all the way back in September last year where they lost it 7-8 to Enterforce in Japan. Of course, prior to that, they'd beaten both Fearex and PSG Talon on the map, but it has been a very long time between drinks for KINOTROPE on Bank, and certainly not at all since they picked up 3 new players. As for SCARZ, they last won this just a week ago against Fearex. It was a solid 7-4. Now we get into it today to determine which of these teams marches forward into the upper bracket final. SCARZ and KINOTROPE both desperately need this win.
Operator bans and operator picks. We've seen a lot of different things already, right? The shield bans, the shield picks, the clash, the Muncie, the blitz, the thorn, all of a sudden. One thing that stayed consistent throughout this entire journey, though, the Grim ban just keeps coming through. Asami, very popular. Double Electro Bros also was seen earlier on Night Haven Labs from both. Mira and Kaid and Grim and Dokkaebi. So some will stay the same, some will be a little bit different. Of course, the nature of Bank is that it's going to play quite differently than both Night Haven Labs and Border. So we're going to see different operators both in play and, of course, in the ban phase.
You know, it's funny we talk about attacker defensive favored maps. Obviously, Border skewing more to the attacking side compared to the average map. But if off the top of my head, the most attacker-sided map at the 6 Invitational was actually Bank. Like, what is it do you think really sets Bank apart from a lot of the other maps? Because a lot of the time we talk about what makes a map attacker or defensive favored. Well, obviously, the bigger the map is, the harder it is to clear as an attacking team. But Bank is a big map. So why is it still easy to attack? You know, the more hard breach you have to do, the harder it is to attack. Well, there's a lot of hard breaching on this map, a lot of hatches. Why is it so achievable to attack on this map if you're a good team?
I think the simple way to explain this is actually that top floor is practically unplayable, and this kind of affects all bomb sites of the map, right? The reason why you can't play Telos Naka's bomb site in tier 1 level play very commonly is because you need to kind of hold upstairs CEO meeting to hold the bomb site vertically. But holding CEO meeting is practically unholdable because there's no safe position from the
for the
CEO
retake.
repel.
He's not going to
And
get...
that
What is that
the
angle?
CEO bomb site, the open area bomb site, the basin bomb site, and Telos Naka's bomb site.
because Bank's bomb sites themselves aren't necessarily super strong. You have to play the map. You gotta play the extension, the holds, kind of like Chalet. But on Chalet, roaming is kind of easy. On Bank, it's very hard as a defender. So I think that really bleeds into this map being so attacker favorite. Long Lancer repel outside the building. DMRs being so prevalent as well. And as you said, you have so much heart destruction. Back when you only had Thermite Hibana, you could ban one of them or spawn kill one of them, whatever, and you had limited breaching. Now you got secondary can openers. There are 2 of those, in fact, in this round, plus Hibana. They can breach every wall, every hatch known to man, and still have spare.
Yeah, very much the case. Looks like a Brawl has gone out on the roam game. Fortunately, though, Rek, while he did get injured, got injured close enough to that hatch inside open area that he was able to drop down, and he'll now be revived on site. So definitely a win in terms of the roam battle for SCARZ, as they've claimed the lives of both the Sens and Blackbeard. And not lost anyone themselves. As I say that, Yukas almost goes down and then is finished off by Eclair. So finally open area control taken by KINOTROPE, but not without a huge cost.
And Reg is still very low on health, so this is still winnable for KINOTROPE. They just need an opening somewhere or a good capital fire usage. The thing about SCARZ is that they've had a very aggressive roam upstairs, running out the building, having some reinforcements. But look at the bomb site hold. Tashanka and Smoke doubling down, and then you want to triple it with Goyo Fire. We can sit here for the next 60 seconds, aka the entirety of the round, and we'll never see a plant go down on default plant location right here on this wall where Claire is looking, because that's Tashanka and Smoke's job to deny. So KINOTROPE then I'll see this. Either you push deep or you go for kills. You cannot plant on that default spot.
Akari's in a bit of a pickle as well because he's running shotgun, which means all he's got for a long-range weapon is the Reaper. And being in server, it's all long-range gunfights. Like, he needs to get up close and personal. He ideally wants to be dropping down the hatches. So, funnily enough, it feels like Gatorada and Akayu are kind of in opposite spots. I don't think you're planting. Like you said, there's so much plant denial. It feels like KINOTROPE have to go kind of deep here, push for a kill. Claire's just been completely decimated. Not sure whether that was gunfire or elsewhere, but it doesn't really matter. SCARZ can easily lap up the final couple of kills. In the end, it was actually the Ying of Akai who did try and go for a plant, but not to be at all. SCARZ off to a solid start, defending the basement.
Yeah. Now, the thing about the basement roam game is that it's kind of unplayable. So what most teams tend to do, and what we see very often also here in APL, is we just see you play like 3 people or 2 people in the basement, you know, 1 holding garage, 1 holding server. That's like your 2 weaknesses that you can rush the bomb site as an attacker. And the 3rd one playing main stairs, kind of assisting the roamer. Then you have the roamers actually in open area with the corner hatch open for fallback, which we just saw last round as well. That's how you make the roam work. You don't often see people start top floor, get kills, fall back, etc. As I said, because of the window repels, the cutoff rotations, and how many drones you can get from prep phase, it sees all those different areas. So SCARZ, what they do really well on Bank, and why they like the map so much, is that they are fearless. They just don't have that part of your brain that goes, oh, this is a bad idea, I'm in trouble, I shouldn't be doing this. That brain just doesn't turn on sometimes. And that is their biggest strength as a team in the most positive of ways. Because they will take a really hard to roam kind of map like Bank Basement, and they will start top floor and they'll not care. And they'll take the fight in the beginning, kill some drones, fall back, take the fight again, kill some drones, fall back. And very often, they will get 1 or 2 kills. And even if they trade, so KINOTROPE gets 2 kills, the SCARZ get 2 kills, when you only have 3 attackers alive, you very often cannot go for the plant and the execute that you actually envisioned in the beginning. So you're being forced into problem solving on the fly. And that's gonna favor the defenders every single time because they started that round knowing that's probably what's gonna happen. So I think that's why SCARZ can actually make this map work so well in domestic play, but this probably wouldn't work as well internationally.
And like you said, of course, the weakness of Bank as a defensive site, Bank as a defensive map, is that the top floor is pretty much unplayable. That's the second bomb site choice, right? So that's where we've gone for this second round. And obviously, if you're on either of the ground floor bomb sites, you want to hold on to the top floor for as long as possible. So how are SCARZ realistically going to try and defend this bomb site? Well, I don't know. To me, I'm thinking about things like the Aruni. Ideally, you want to try and peek people, play aggressively. But aside from that, I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be tough. There's a lot of repel angles here for KINOTROPE. And Nina was on a roam downstairs and gets caught off guard.
So the way that you do this, as you said, you play a DMR on a Rooney. That can fight people. The second one is you play a Warden inside a janitor's closet, because then they can't just smoke the CO windows and rappel in for a plant. That's like what every team tends to do. And you fight for stock control. You fight the people in the repels. Often this bomb site of top floor CEO gets defined by the small gunfights, the small details. For example, Nina getting caught in the roam. Nina dying and Nina getting a kill is a huge reason why this round will be won or lost by these two teams. So it's very tricky to make this a consistent bomb site in terms of outcome, because it's a very coin flip heavy one. And then that's a free. I mean, yeah.
That was a decision from Fishlike to play in a completely exposed position to the hatch. Very strange. Oh well. He will fall.
I mean, again, the elevator's open, right? He either plays in the elevator or he leaves the elevator and drops on the hatch, because Kali's watching this angle as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just not sitting on your drone exposed to an angle would help. Here we go. That's what we were talking about before. Contesting these long angles with a DMR. That's the play here for Washoy, and it's sorely needed. He's also just seen a second player now. The attacker of Carwow doesn't know that Washoy spotted him because he didn't elect to fire any shots off. Here comes a fire out from Akayu. Did that miss? I saw him take a little bit of damage.
Sure.
I don't know where the fire actually managed to land, but certainly not looking good for KINOTROPE unless if Eclair can find an opening like that. Now just Rek and Washoy stand up. Washoy traded back after he's found his second kill. Rek up against the world now in a 1v3. And the rappel is going to come in from Akayu. Diffuser's now outside. They need to hunt down for this kill. Rek doesn't have enough bullets. Ayagator will take him down. Far too close for comfort for KINOTROPE, but the round is theirs.
And you just see how tough that top floor bomb site is to play. I mean, again, that's why we say it's unplayable. There are so few safe areas. You're always under pressure. And we spoke about how the many different operator bans can play into the strength or weaknesses of a team or a bomb site. What some teams have been trying to do in recent history with this new operator ban system is you ban Hibana and you ban the Ace. And all of a sudden, you can play top floor defense, because now there's no range path destruction, and they can't breach open that elevator wall, which means you can play in the general hallway, in stock hallway, in elevator, and you have much less pressure on you. But then we spoke about diminishing return of banning the same archetype, right? By banning 2 heart breachers, you leave open so many power-ups on the attack, like in this case, the Grim or the Dokkaebi, just to name 2 of them. It's like there's no real winning, because it takes so much in operator ban selection to make that top floor bomb site work. And then people often will go, what about playing the 4th bomb site? Well, tell us Archives is worse. It's just one of the worst bomb sites in the game's history in tier 1 level of play. It always has been.
5 seconds left.
You remember back in the day when it was the secondary bomb site after basement?
Dude, okay, let's take that one step further. Do you remember back in the day when Clubhouse had one playable bomb site?
Yeah, and then everyone played bar.
And then you played bar second, which was unplayable. And then there isn't even a third choice because they were so bad.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Good old days. For those who weren't playing back then, the entire connector or construction on the top floor that connects Cache and Master Bedroom didn't used to exist when Clubhouse first came out. So both Cache and Gym had external walls that you could breach open on the attacking side. It was just absolutely a death wish to play them.
Yes, there's a CCTV default. There's a hatch on the roof that sees the entire bomb site. And there's a CCTV window that sees the other bomb site. It was super unplayable.
Yeah.
So bad. So, Clubhouse rework, dude. Best rework in the game. By far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Opening kill for Carwow, the guy who went unbelievably big on border, is coming up very nice early on in Bank. Big kill on the Ram. Very important operator on any of these ground floor bomb sites to tear up that floor and put that vertical pressure on the defense.
Bit curious in this rotation. They started on the roof, they do the Ram vert, they get a pick, and now they're going back to the roof to maybe just change the entire approach. Maybe that whole play was just to get that kill. Maybe that was like a predetermined kind of set strat, and now they got what they wanted. They can go back to plan A. Gotta see Washoy downstairs looking for a fight on server. There's one person waiting for him, and the Banshee being there to guard him if they were to push him deep. He has no info.
No, he doesn't. There's a good gap, though, found by Akayu. Now a 2-player advantage. Great read from Ayagator on the flank from Washoy. It all comes down to UKiz now. From up above, he has realistically no choice but to drop the hatch. And there's no question about it. KINOTROPE will be waiting
for when he does so. Carwow is in perfect position to just actively watch that hatch, but Ayagator comes upstairs. Beautiful work with the F2, the FAMAS, the return of the FAMAS vertical grip as KINOTROPE establish their grip on Bank.
It's a very solid attack execute as well. Again, get the first pick, reset the round, hit the server, hit the side, watch the flank. Solid Snake also being utilized greatly there. Good uptime off the gadget. Curious in the upper bans here. Solid Snake could honestly be a target ban. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's gonna be Ying and Clash. Okay, so Clash being stated as a countermeasure. Of course, Clash on top floor bomb site can help you with those long lines of sight and hallways. So that's a kind of a nice pre-fire. The Ying, however, Ying was played a little bit on border, not too insane effect.
FAMAS.
So I'm not sure exactly what the fear factor is there for SCARZ. Unless they're fearing a Warden ban, maybe?
FAMAS.
Well, of course, the Ying was played on that basement attack. It was just not effective.
Yeah, the round was
yeah, exactly. But I think maybe SCARZ are backing on the fact that, look, if KINOTROPE do have a better start to the round, if perhaps KINOTROPE win the roam game, or SCARZ don't get 2 for 0 essentially on the roam, which is what happened in that first round, then yes, the Ying will be very deadly and come into power. Perhaps they were fearing a Warden ban to come out from KINOTROPE as well. You kind of have to get on the front foot with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Clash ban. I know that SCARZ have played a little Clash, and it is scary to go up against a Clash, but I just don't think that's a priority here for KINOTROPE. So much util that's good on the defense, and I guess
but has there been a problem? You know, have SCARZ shown anything that was like, oh, that's a problem later on?
Honestly, get rid of Smoke or Goyo and attack this basement with only like a Tachanka to worry about. I don't know, I feel
so
like...
There's two types of siege, right? There's the version where you say as an attacker, we're going to lose every single primary bomb site attack, but it's fine because we win the secondary and tertiary attack, and we will get a 2-1 split twice. That's a 4-2 half. That's pretty good, right? So you can flip this question: should KINOTROPE remove an operator that makes the other bomb sites weaker, open area and top floor, or should they remove an operator that makes basement weaker, that is the strongest by far?
It's actually a great point. I think it's not even like an argument. Like, my instinct, right, is to, if I'm KINOTROPE, I've just lost 1 out of the last 3 rounds. My instinct, just the way that my brain works about the game, is like, okay, what went wrong on the round we won? How can we fix that, right? But I think you're dead right. KINOTROPE kind of just need to not care whether or not they win or lose basement, because if, for example, a Clash might make one of these less good bomb sites playable for SCARZ, just get rid of it and destroy SCARZ on the other bomb sites. They can have this round. Look at all the bloody util SCARZ are brought to the table here. Doesn't matter if KINOTROPE win this. What matters is the next 2 rounds following.
But you make a good point about how your brain works, about, oh, we gotta figure out what the problem is. And there was one problem, that was the basement attack. So naturally, you're gonna wanna fix that problem. It's a completely logical way of going about it. And sometimes it can be a great thing, but sometimes it could also be a bit of a trap. Again, the foresight here from both these teams. Again, SCARZ banning a Warden, maybe fearing banning the Ying, fearing a Warden ban. Them two also trying to think ahead. The question is, though, with like the Monty being brought into this round, I'm thinking roam clear should be fine. Getting 5v5 to the bombs should be fine. Where the hell are you gonna plant? Because like you said, Maestro, Goyo, Tachanka, and Smoke. What the hell are you gonna do?
I think best case scenario here for KINOTROPE is you end up with a 5v5 in the late rounds, and you drop Monty in vaults or Blackbeard. And whichever one you're not dropping, they're going server and going for a shield plant. And so you just have this pressure on both sides at the same time. Because as you say, between Goyo, Smoke, Tachanka, and Maestro for that matter, and look, Thorn, who by the way has 1 trap still in pocket, there's just no way you get an easy plant off.
So the thing is, right, Maestro has to use the Evil Eyes actively on cameras to utilize them. Tachanka has to swap weapon to the gadget of the Shurima launcher to actively use the fire launcher. There are possibly 2 people not with guns up. So like you said, Vault, Elevator, Hatch Drop flank could be good. They go for a plant. If the fire misses, it's gonna go down, James. No, they stopped it.
Oh wow, why did he stop it at the last moment? Because Eclair wasn't taking any damage. It was only a Caillou that was getting damage there. Now the fire comes out, but Fishlike's taking a hell of a lot of damage himself.
His own fire, I think, yeah.
No, I think it's Gatorada's fire.
Oh, Capital? Sorry, you're right. Capital fire from server. Okay, so a bit of a trade-off there.
Oh no, he's
and
in
now
lobby.
Shaw's distracted on lobby hatch. Yes, it couldn't have been his fire.
You're right, it must have been Fishlike who fired himself off. Gatorado, though, this is a good move from him. He's both used the smoke and the fire to put some pressure on from the Vault side. KINOTROPE by doing a great split push to try and execute, but still the plan isn't down. That's the concern here. Claire's just taking a hell of a lot of damage from the Thorn Trap. He's forced to go deep. He's found a big pick, and it comes down to Akayu to try and force this diffuser on the ground, but it's a Claire to clean house with 3 big kills. Pengu, I don't know what you're saying about giving up on the basement and focusing on the other sides, because KINOTROPE, they've got what it takes to win on the unwinnable bomb site.
Oh, this is where SCARZ is gonna have a tough time, because do you go back to basement where you just lost? Are you gonna go to one of the worst bombs where they target bend the clash? This is doomsday. This is where you have to go, guys. We might just have like a 5-1. If we're a little bit good, a little bit lucky, a 4-2 half. We need to absolutely pop off on side swap. But we're gonna start this game from behind, and we have to accept that. Because the idea of thinking of a 3-3 half now seems so far gone. I mean, SCARZ, they default to this thing where they just fight you and they peek you whenever they're down in numbers. That could benefit them here. If they get, like, you know, Washon there, Rooney again, get opening pick, 5v4, that can be the one that turns the tide. But I'm also seeing right down the Bandit, and they've been low-key hiding the Operator. He's been in CO the entire time, not exposing himself to any of the drones. He's hiding by the windows. They're gonna hide him, and they can actually trick the elevator walls. But look at the Kali attacker repick. That repick can do the same thing, can counter this Bandit without even knowing. Because you can Kali lance the ball, then you put down batteries, rinse, repeat, use the capital fire, and you can guaranteed open it up. KINOTROPE, they have paid respect to possible counters, and they have the right tools for that counter.
Look, I'm a simple man. I see a Kali, and I'm happy. That's all it takes. And this is probably one of the few bomb sites where people really do like playing the Kali, because it's funny, most of the time people think about Kali, they don't think about her gadget, they think about her sniper rifle, because that's in a way even more unique than her gadget. So you see this bomb site, you're like, well, Kali, I guess I could, you know, play the long lines of sights, maybe repel from lobby with that sniper. You forget that the gadget is the real value here. The problem with Kali's gadget in this round is that Rek, being the bandit, can actually actively juggle the Kanto walls and protect these lobby side top floor walls next to the elevators from being destroyed, even with the Kali.
They breach Skylight. Again, every single Selma charge here from the Ace is so valuable. You only got 3 in total. It's the only hard destruction, and only ranged one as well at that. So breaching any walls shows kind of their hand and what they're planning to do. Now, they could plant here on the CEO wall to the right-hand side of Blackbeard. It's totally possible if they get window pressure. But then you gotta worry about the Warden seeing through the smoke. He has the C4. So then you gotta try and clear Janitors. But that's where the Aruni gates on all the window repels go into play, because they deny the Capital from using his utility. So there's this, like, lot of layers from both these two teams. There we just saw the Warden spotted out by the members of KINOTROPE. Now they know. They smoke and they push.
Oh. Igate is in a big position here. It's got the ACOG as well. Nade comes out. A little bit of pressure, but no kill. Where's the execute going to come from for KINOTROPE here? Obviously, they have that breach on the wall, but look at 2 players droning at the moment for Kino, just trying to figure out if the execute is palatable here. They got time to double check, to measure one more time before they execute.
No one needs in BB. Gotta get line the action. Great swing there, though, but a good trick from Kawa back to a 4v trade-off there. Lost that shoot. He's also distracted on lobby. The other members of KINOTROPE now is gonna step up and fire.
You're right, it must have been
Kali stuck in the repel.
who fired himself off. Gatorado, though, this is a good move from him. He's both used the smoke and the fire to put some pressure on from the Vault side. KINOTROPE by doing a great
to square. He's done so now.
to try and execute.
Still the plan isn't down. That's the concern.
Worried about someone down below. Good read, though, on the flank.
Forced to go deep.
Nina doesn't manage to go down.
And it comes down without taking one with him.
This diffuser on the ground.
finally finished off, and
Yuki
aggressive inside of Janitors, using those keeper barriers to protect himself,
giving up on the basement and focusing on the other side.
Beautiful.
Because
SCARZ, and it leaves a Kali and Gatorado
sitting around
on the unwinnable
with nothing to
side.
do. They're sitting back and just hoping that their teammates will be able to execute without them while they stay on repel, and it simply ain't possible. A great defense from SCARZ. They might have failed on the basement, Pengu, but that top floor floor is maybe a little bit more defendable
to try and
than
execute,
you might
but
think.
still the plan isn't down. That's the
so they
concern
trade
here. Klez is
blows.
taking a hell of a lot of damage from a Thorn Trap. He's
There's no
forced to go
business
deep.
winning, but then
He's found a
Scarz to the
big pick,
exacting
and it
thing.
comes
And
down.
now, of course, we're going to go back towards that
Great
basement bomb
split
site.
push to try and
I'm not
execute,
sure
but
what
still the
to
plan
expect
isn't
from
down.
coming around
That's
now.
the concern here.
Because we've
Klez is taking a
seen
hell of a lot of
Kinotrope
damage
get
from a
apart
Thorn Trap.
so
He's
well.
forced to go deep.
The only
He's found
thing
a big
Scarz can
pick,
do to
and it
go
comes down
basic
to a
is
Kai to
Roman
try
took
and
heavier
force
and not
this
give them
diffuser
full
on the
control,
ground.
you know,
But
in
it's
the
a
very
clear
beginning.
to
Just
clean
early on
house
that
with
time a
3
little
big
bit.
kills.
Or they could play the smoke on
Pengu, I don't know
maybe
what
that
you're
Asia
saying
teams do,
about
and
giving
try and
up on the
stall time
basement
before
and
the game's
focusing on the
over.
other.
That's the few adaptations I could see here from SCARZ. Or they're just madmen, and they play 5 people on the bomb site, but instead of having the active use of Maestro cams, they have the Finra mines for those hatch drops instead. Other than that, it's completely open for this half. This could actually become a 3-3 half.
Could well be. Back down to the basement. And KINOTROPE have to do what they did once prior, but it would be so impressive. I'm really surprised to see the Nook pick here. Look, I'm even more surprised to see the Nook with the FMG. Nook's got a DMR now, by the way. There's not a lot of places in this game, on any map, where you think, oh, yeah, Nook, that's the operator that I need in that scenario. But ever since she first came out, Pengu, there's one spot that everyone thinks about, and it's Garage on Bank. Because on Bank Garage, you're typically holding it with a bulletproof camera or some other kind of information, which is what they are doing here, right? Rek is going to occasionally face check it, but for the most part, it's the bulletproof that's going to be holding it. So Nook is perfect for that. What gun do you want to be fighting long-range angle like Garage? The FMG, which is a tiny little crappy SMG, or do you want a DMR? Come on, you want the DMR? Come on.
Deagle.
Bring the DMR, for goodness sake. I feel like it's a strange choice. I personally prefer either DMR, Nock, or even a Blackbeard. I think Blackbeard is so good for taking Garage.
Some people play Osa, and you'll walk in with the shield as well. You can put it down and fight with like a fully AR'd weapon as well. Could work.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, you're right, though. You make a good point. Obviously, maybe the plan here isn't to go Garage and go somewhere else, but then we have to wonder, where does the Nook gadget play into that if you're not going Garage? Like, that is the spot, as you mentioned. But then you could just play any other operator instead. Good wallbang attempt at the Blitz, but does not connect because shield blocks the bullets. Gerarada has snuck into lobby. Partially in thanks to the gadget, but also the lobby camera can actually be shot from outside the building, so that probably has been the case. Full map control, 1 minute 30 seconds. This is just about the average benchmark that we look for when a pro team has to roam clear bank. Having 1 minute 30 seconds left when you get main stairs flank established is just on track. Soft hatch popped by the Gon 6. They got Thermite. They got can openers. Again, KINOTROPE, they have all the right tools to pick apart this round. It comes down to how well they can execute on their strat.
Oh, I get it. So tempted to just make a swing, isn't he? There's actually no one actively watching. If he hides deep enough, he might be able to find a free kill. Goodbye to Nina. The smoke grenade goes out as well. It might pretend to threaten and execute a plan, but of course it's Kawau who's all the way down in elevators that actually has a diffuser, and Gatarada amidst the chaos has snuck in behind enemy lines. He's taken down Rek, and now there's a gaping hole on the bomb site. No information for Washoy, and he's cut the side in half. Gatarada finding the final kill. It is indeed, Pengu, a 4-2 split for KINOTROPE as they close out the half. For SCARZ, and it leaves Caillou and Gatarada sitting around with nothing to do. They're sitting back and just hoping that their teammates will be able to execute without them while they stay on rappel, and it simply ain't possible. A great defense from SCARZ. They might have failed on the basement, Pengu, but that top floor is maybe a little bit more defendable than you might think.
Can I tell you what's on my mind? 'Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind? Can I get a chance to let you know you're my heart's desire, and I love you so?
Despite fumbling their second attempt onto that top floor, a double defensive breakthrough on that basement from KINOTROPE, finding 2 attack round wins on what is quite a fortress down below on Bank. Nets them a very successful first half.
And it kind of turns the conversation for this entire series that SCARZ have been the better team and they've been making the right adaptations and counterplays, etc. Because that is how it's... So what was that, sorry?
Smoke and Tachanka ban. Sorry.
Smoke and Tachanka.
I just,
you sounded so
crazy.
excited. I thought your dog jumped on yours. I was like, what's happening?
My dog has been getting very excited. She saw the Tachanka as well. But yeah, it's Tachanka ban. But please finish what you were going to say before we dissect these bans.
I was going to say, now we look at the current landscape and go, KINOTROPE got it all figured out. But, and this is the but, the Smoke and Tachanka ban might just change the entire conversation because we spoke about the value of making the strongest bomb site weaker that you're not supposed to win anyway, or weakening the already weak bomb sites and make them undefendable. SCARZ have said, ha, plant denial, haven't heard about that. Smoke Tachanka leaving only Goyo open for any sort of actual denial forces KINOTROPE's hand. Heavy roam game on a very hard to roam map, or a much weaker bomb site for plant denial. So I'm very curious to see how KINOTROPE can navigate this one.
Well, it's interesting because, as you say, the only plant denial operator available is Goyo, aside from the C4s, of course. But they're not even bringing that, right? They are really going heavy. In fact, it's Valkyrie impacts, yeah, which we saw on Border. Gatorada was great with the Valkyrie, so much so that SCARZ decided to ban it. On Nighthaven Labs, the first map, we saw the teams bouncing between Valkyrie and Pulse. Now KINOTROPE have doubled down. And Pulse, I wonder if he'll be playing primarily on the roam, or if his intention is to fall back to site, because if you remember, which I'm sure that you do after playing it for many years, Pulse was the most iconic plant denial operator in Bank for the longest time for Canadians, Canadian popularized, which is playing inside a vault with that cardiac sensor.
Yeah. Oh, that is an iconic old school position. And we do see it make the occasional return, and he's playing the shotgun, so it could be a roam early, fall back, and play that intel game. But what we saw right before, actually, was Gator sprinting into lobby and killing Hibana on the CEO rappel. That is going to change how this round is played from SCARZ, because the only hard destruction is the double can opener on Deimos, which means they can open up 2 hatches or 2 walls. They have 2 total things to destroy, and they still got a very active roam clear as well happening. And this is why Gatorado is playing those impact grenades, right? A C4 Valkyrie that's roaming is about getting one single kill and then probably falling back or playing a loose gun. The impact Valkyrie is almost like playing stuff like the Solace. It's about rotating and being everywhere at the same time. Impact this wall, run over here. You see someone, you impact them, etc. You can also fight against the shields with it pretty effectively. Rek finds a Claire though. So Sami gets taken out, but a yellow ping and a swing.
Nice.
It's a freebie.
Very much needed. Now they do have a crossfire onto this Blitz, who wants to make his way forward. Rek is standing behind him. Nitrocell might come out in a brief moment. This is pretty awkward. It's a bit of a standstill. A Mexican standoff for both teams. Who's going to make the first move?
Has to be the attacker, surely.
Oh.
Valkyrie runs away, tries to bait the angle being safe. Maybe, but remember, it was Airgate who got both kills on lobby, so they should say, guys, I saw Valkyrie run away, but what about the mute? Well, we don't know. So let's assume that he's still lingering somewhere here towards lobby. Using a drone now is going to cost you a lot of time. He's just going to walk forward.
Oh,
what's the gap?
What is going on? Airgate has just been afforded the flexibility to go for a 3rd kill. And now his Nitro Cell over the door frame prevents the Blitz from making his way forward, but Rek will take him down through the wall. Now they're acting like they don't have anything to worry about, but we know Gatorada was in lobby that whole time. He's now gone back to site, down the hatch, I believe, and it's a 3 versus 2 on the objective. This will be a very tough plan for SCARZ. 2 C4s available. The smoke might be able to help out a little bit. The plant spot's also been opened by Rek. And it looks like Fish likes to try and look for a plant. 1 C4 shot out of midair. The second C4, though, it does land. It finds the player. And Rek now forced into a 1v2 that he is not capable of winning. KINOTROPE extend their lead 5 rounds to 2.
Very well done. Again, the communication, the problem solving, kind of criminal the 3 kills that Aegita got in that round. Sprints into lobby, kills the gun the rappel, gets a yellow ping, walks into lobby. See, first kill, freebie. Second kill, yellow ping, freebie. Third kill, Deimos goes on drone. He pushes right next to Deimos, kills Deimos' teammate, and runs back again. And sure, he dies in the end, right? But he got 3 kills for God's sake. He got more value than needed to win that one. Beautiful stuff.
Big round for Aegita. It's 9 kills so far in the 7 rounds we played. And Gatorade is going to keep on playing this Valkyrie. I can't help but think that after the next set of operator bans come through, SCARZ is going to have to get rid of that Valkyrie. A lot of the info game that's enabling these plays is thanks to that Valkyrie from KINOTROPE. Wow. What is this setup?
That's a big hole.
Wow.
Very big hole.
Thermite stand aside, Mira's coming for your job, mate. What? This is a strat. We're about to see a very unusual Mira setup.
Mira window? Yeah.
From KINOTROPE. Wow, this is very rare. I've never seen a setup quite like this before.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest here and say I don't know how the angle works in regards to like lobby repel, elevator repel, and Spider-Man repel inside of lobby. I feel like this mirror window, if they don't specifically go for it and counter it, is very, very crucial. But I feel like it's very easy to counter with certain repel lines of sight. So, you see, these windows are normally barricaded, but not by a castle, just a regular good old barricade. So, nothing's gonna stop them from protecting this mirror, really. We'll see.
Aegita's keeping the second mirror in pocket to make sure that he doesn't get Twitch drone. And just that it won't be revealed too early into the game. So they're not going to be already talking about the problem solving, how they're going to deal with it. But I mean, realistically, what util do you have to clear the mirror? Well, obviously there's Ukiz's Ash. But aside from that, not really much. Unless if, like you said, they can find an angle.
There's no protection. So this thing, often you see mirror being played without my Jaeger or any electrification. So 2 Ash charges, there goes the counter, boom. It's a shame because had that a Bandit on a Rooney or a Jaeger or my anything really, this mirror window would see a lot of play or require them to spend a lot of time dealing with it. Now it's just middle mouse button, left mouse button, boom.
I still don't mind it though, because we're still going to be able to see the long angle. We noticed the Two-Brow opened up the mirror after it was destroyed, so we can still open the long line of sight. Now Rek is in a big position here. Obviously the Valkyrie has been an instrumental part, and because it's all been cleared, because the barbed wire has been cleared, because he's the knock, he can walk straight past it. It's going to be a free kill. The trade will come through from Carwell. The plant is starting to go off. The impacts down below force Washoy off the plant. Carwell making his way over from lobby. I mean, he's taken down. It's all up to Gatorade now. They know exactly where he is. They know he was playing down below. And now the E1D will ping him out as well. It's a tough round for him to try and come back on. I think SCARZ picked this apart perfectly.
I mean, phenomenal job. You know, they're saying, okay, they're playing, you know, the Echo, the Valkyrie, heavy intel, no trap operators. And originally, Rick was actually playing IQ. And then he attacked a repick from IQ onto the nuke so that he could make this play. Because why destroy their intel when we can use it against them? And it was very predetermined because the second he got that initial push in for top lobby stairs, everyone else rappelled in and pushed the bomb side. And I mean, this is the round. 5, 4, round over, practically flawless at that. Gatorade is kind of AFK downstairs talking with his team like, guys, what do we do next? No big deal. It's still 5-3 in favor of KINOTROPE.
Another underrated moment in that round for me. Obviously, we saw Nook going up the lobby stairs, but he walked through barbed wire at the end, and I noticed the barbed wire is actually already destroyed. That was because the Flores early in the round is just setting those Roteros into sight and clearing a lot of util. Now, obviously, if you're playing like as a defender, let's say you're playing in front desk, you're playing in elevator, and you hear a gun 6 or an Ash or a grenade or something clear your barbed wire because there's a player there about to walk up those stairs, you're immediately ready for it. If you see at the start of a round, Flores comes through, clears out some util, you're like, oh, okay, that's just Flores. He's probably off on the roof somewhere. You don't then clock that there's an active threat. It's just something that you have to always keep in the back of your mind. Okay, if someone wants to walk up the stairs, they can because there's no barbed wire there anymore. You don't know that there's a player there because there wasn't a player there when the barb was cleared. It was cleared by Flores while he's on the roof.
This is why it's so important to have stuff like barbed wire, traps, and areas so that you can take your mental off it, because you have to be worried about, let's say, every hallway, every staircase, every window, the entire round, you're gonna literally just explode. Like, it's so much pressure, right? So as a defender, you go, hey, teammate, you watch this angle. You know you have barbed wire and these other angles. Now you can worry about much less. But then if anybody clears that utility, like you said, you gotta now bring it back into the front of your brain. But there's so much happening for these pro teams in communication. They're calling out what's happening, what they need, what they think is gonna come next, what they hear, what they see. The communication sometimes gets 4 people just yelling in each other's ears, and then you got the game sound that is super crucial to hear accurately at the same time.
And that player that was exposed to the lobby stairs was on Echo, which means he was probably on his drone when that Rotero cleared the barbed wire. He wouldn't even know he was gone.
That's also very possible, actually. So new tech though, castle barricades brought into action to ground some shielding, some fortification here for Kao to play aggro on the double windows. Now if he gets a kill, phenomenal, and he has a primary shotgun, he could just jump out and just send it for 1-for-1 trade, but instead Aegator strikes first, takes down Nina. That's Lion, removed from action. And Sense.
What a long angle from Aegator, that is huge.
I mean, that could be round. I mean, if you just play nicely off each other and don't expose yourself to like these rappel angles, you're playing 5v3 on top floor with Maestro alive. Like, you're chilling.
Yeah. DMR diff. Oh, and he does jump outside, and Carwell finds one with the shotgun before he's traded back. But of course, when you have this much of a numbers advantage, 1-for-1 trade is well worthwhile. Yukiz and Rek separated. Rek will actually find the gap and finally put down Aegator. Also, Akayu's on the floor. Spider-Man repel for 2 kills here for Rek. And now a 2v2 looks extremely achievable for SCARZ. KINOTROPE cannot afford to fumble it. Gatarada finds one. Now a 1v2 for Yukiz. Diffuser in hand as he's managed to sneak into the bomb site. One more frag in pocket, but I don't know if he'll be able to find a safe place. He's managed to find Gatarada. Where is Eclair? In the hallway. Can Yukiz find a safe place to plant? Castle Barricade somewhat protects him, but he's worried about the Valkyrie cameras, the Evil Eyes. He knows how much the opponents have brought those 2 operators, and for a brief moment, he sees Eclair's shoulder, but he doesn't have any info. He doesn't have any time to drone him out either. Nade goes out, last piece of util for Yukiz. Eclair continues to just peek for information and then fall back.
Go for the wide angle.
Oh.
It could be a wallbang, but the wall hole is wide open. So rotate there. Eclair wins the gunfight to no surprise because he had full HP. His opponent only 1 single point on his health bar. But that was such a free round, right? 5v3 into a 4v2. Turned upside down by Rake's Spider-Man repelling on lobby skylight. Again, SCARZ might be down in terms of round count, but they have ways to bring it back one step at a time.
Yeah, you're right. It never should have gotten as close as it did, but KINOTROPE managed to achieve match point. This is series point now, Pengu, for the first time in this matchup. What are the final bans to roll on through? Wow, Flores!
Wow, Flores!
Oh my god, well, I'm so glad that we talked about it, Pengu.
Yeah. Okay. This is like super uncommon. That's gotta be one of the lowest ban rate operators on Bank as well in general across all the years of play.
But you can see why they did it, right? Like, not only does the Flores counter the barbed wire and other traps set up on site on the top floor, but in this particular round, and especially on the basement, should we go back to the basement defense for KINOTROPE before too long, the Goyos. Imagine the way that you set up the basement with, like, what, 4 Goyo traps within like a meter or 2 of each other. That's open season for Flores.
Yeah. Now, of course, you can kind of substitute Flores at Twitch for like half the gadgets. You know, Fenrir mines, Goyo canisters, mirror windows, but that's banned away. Even Valve cams and such. But it doesn't have the same effect for, like, let's say barbed wire or Melusi banshees. So it is gonna change things a little bit around. I am a little bit curious as we don't see different operators brought here by KINOTROPE given the Flores ban, but also they need 1 round victory. They get 3 shots at that before overtime. So this Flores ban might not really be about this current round where we see a visual roaming. It could be about the round after this if they need to go there. Just yelling in each other's ears, and then you got the game sound that is super crucial to hear actively at the same time.
And that player that was exposed to the cannot believe Aegator is rocking the Boss G. I am such a hater. Not only because it's tilting, but like I just think it kind of sucks at long range because of the damage fall off change. We saw it was Border, right? I can't remember which player it was. Might have actually been Gator. He managed to land a shot onto the chest of someone while spawn peeking and then still died. And he only did about 80 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Gator and Rashoy actually, but I could be wrong. But it was Border, yeah. And CC door. I mean, the Boski is one of those weapons that in the right radius, like range, it will one-shot you. So it's a phenomenal weapon. But across that threshold, I'm not sure if it's 20 meters or 30 or whatever, it's probably going to lose you most of the fights. Where regular DMR will do the same job, but you have 20 bullets and you can shoot much faster. But the gadget's good. You know, he can shot himself from all his drones, stay active on the roam, he's got impact grenades for a flank, but right now he's by the bomb site, which will make the drones think, where is he actually?
Ooh, almost a chance there. Misses it for UKIZ, but doesn't matter because Nina's found his gap elsewhere. Much needed now for SCARZ. They need 3 in a row. Otherwise, it's down to the lower bracket for them. UKIZ sneaking up towards these tempting hatches. He wants to make his way up. I think they know where Eclair is as well. Is he going to go for it right now? He will. Up goes UKIZ, and a big kill as Washoy opens the equation. A collapse from SCARZ onto the bomb site, and the plant is down. Carwow and Gatorada now need to make a retake, but it's going to be difficult while Gatorada finds a kill upstairs. There's still so many players for SCARZ on the bomb site. A shotgun in UKIZ's hands as well as Fishlike all but finishes off the round. Carwow locked in place. I think this is just a save at the moment. Talk to the team. Figure out what you're going to do next round of defense.
Now they are sitting pretty, that's for damn sure. I'm not sure if that was miscommunication from KINOTROPE, but when Gator accidentally swung the double door and got shot at by the SMG-11 server stairs, you know, you can make the call, guys. SMG-11 equals ammo. They're gonna go for a basement hatch plant. They didn't seem fully ready for it, but to be fair, even if they were, the shots were just hitting their marks there for SCARZ. Again, so good on the entry and not wasting any seconds in that round. That's a pocket strat. That's going to win you an individual round, and it's a lot easier to do that on the secondary and tertiary attacks. On basement, the primary side, that's where those kind of one-off strats get a bit more tricky, because it's just a naturally harder bomb site to pick apart. There are less options often, and you know, it's either going to be a server attack or a lobby frontal attack. That's kind of your 2 only options on this map, for basement, that is. So I do feel like this is where KINOTROPE are looking to lock it in and just be done with this game.
Basement bomb site so often comes down to, wow, here's a nice evil eye. It's too far to easily knife, which is the critical thing. Also stacking Util in blue.
Server stairs.
Yeah, a server stairs hold's always challenging to clear. Now, Blitz might actually be the perfect operator to deal with that. Also, the Thatcher is a favorite of mine. Wow, we're doing an old school. A Rooney gate on the hatch to try and destroy any gadgets. Wow, we're going crazy with Util in blue stairs. I'm really excited to see what KINOTROPE are cooking for this round.
So it's truly going to be Gator who's going to play on the server stairs, no? Because he's playing Thorn shotgun and he has like active util he can use. I'm just trying to think to myself, like, who would I sacrifice? Because let's be honest, it's a sacrifice spot. Like, you're not going to survive it, not by intention or design.
Yeah, I'd probably be running Gator with shotgun if it was me.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. But what we know is going to happen or can happen is what scares me. With Thatcher being brought in a glass, you can literally just EMP the ADSs, throw a single smoke grenade, and just walk in with glass with Blitz and just guaranteed win the gunfight. Like, there's no counterplay. There's not going to be any C4s. There's the Warden. Thorn Trap, of course, but you can also EMP that. Or you just jiggle the door once and then you pop it, then you go again.
Yeah.
So I do feel like if SCARZ can figure out all these puzzle pieces and then put them together correctly, nice and slow, this could be the freest kill of this series for them. It's actually going to be Eclair and Denari that's going to play there. Maybe he has pre-placed lasers and can pop them and combine them because he has 3 in pocket. So quiet.
Yeah, this is a very slow round from SCARZ. They're just slowly clearing every little piece of util they need. UKIZ might be able to burn this gate with his excess X-Kairos. I think that's just burnt the gate that's on the hatch. Is Eclair falling back? Oh, he is.
Swapping with the Thorn, yeah.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's a good move. Ayagator now has a shield, a shotgun, and ADSs. You're absolutely right. We needed to come over with the EMPs here from the Thatcher.
100%. EMP, sending the blitz, and honestly, that should just be that. You see him respecting the grenade, it gets tossed. I mean, so much value. The Thorn Traps somehow live, actually, both of them. And I'm not sure if they are aware of the Thorn Traps, but if they aren't, this could be dangerous with the blitz player.
It's been played so well by Fishlike and by SCARZ, but Ayagator manages to find the feed shots onto the blitz. Low HP, but now he knows he's got the diffuser on his side. 12 kills for Ayagator on Bank, and he's keen to close the map right here and right now.
Should he just smoke it and go to glass? Send in a second
Good
gun,
flash.
flashbang, a swing, free fire!
How does he find another one? Finally traded back. But Ayagator has been worth so much to KINOTROPE today. SCARZ now desperately in the last 20 seconds must find a way into this bomb site. Washoy from up above, he's got smoke, but he hasn't had a chance to use them yet, and Eclair is still undealt with inside his server. What a hell of a way to close it for KINOTROPE. They might have fumbled the second map, but in the third, they finally get the job done, and they get a leg up over SCARZ. Into the upper bracket final they go.
And the way they do it as well, right? The mental resilience alone. Starting this series all the way back on Nighthaven Labs and kind of getting just tossed around the building. No leg to stand on, looking like the inferior team. Then saying, you know what, they got it. They will figure it out on border, and they do. It's a comeback, they figure things out, but then we go to Bank, and oh my. Bank was by far their best map today, where they had the pocket strats, the counters, and I think just the confidence as well to make it work time and time again.
Yeah, so many ideas there for KINOTROPE on both attack and defense, and that round is a perfect summation of it.
Yep.
Like the cook, absolute cook with the Aruni and the Thorn. I still hate
And
Thorn
the
for the record,
round.
but man, it was so good. I love to see it, and yeah, KINOTROPE, a well-deserved win today.
Yeah. I mean, what I love to see there was actually that, yes, they played the Silver Stairs angle, but also it was actually Eclair starting in that position with Denari, and we're both questioning, like, why is he the one playing there? And then when he makes the call, guys are actually gonna go for it. Ayagator comes sprinting in and takes that position, and I think that literally is the round-winning play, right? Because he got the 2 kills with the shotgun, and probably only Ayagator himself could make that play work the way he did.
Yeah, it's funny though, because Eclair did end up getting 2 kills afterwards anyway, because after the Thorn was finally cleared, Eclair is still playing behind the server rack. It was so well played there from KINOTROPE. You said it. I mean, Bank was just so much better than what we saw on both Labs and Border. It's time to hear from the horse's mouth. It's Okamesh on the line from KINOTROPE, the coach of the squad. Okamesh, welcome back in, my friend. Congratulations on your entrance into the upper bracket final. How are you feeling about that win over SCARZ?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to win because I've never won against SCARZ since 2024. I mean 2023.
Wow.
Yes. So this is like one of the biggest moment in my life. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Big congratulations. I guess the question is then, now that you're taking down SCARZ for the first time, who would you rather go up against? Because it looks of it, right? CAG or D+. Is there a favorite there? Do you think one is easier, or is it more honor maybe in beating one of those guys?
Yeah. Yeah. What I say, but like we need to sorry, can you change the question? I'm like, my brain's like stopping.
No, that's all
okay,
good.
That's okay.
I've got one for you, Okamesh. If you want to think of another one, Pengu, I've got one for you, Okamesh. Obviously, it means a lot to you to beat SCARZ. You haven't beaten them for over 3 years now. But there's not just that. There's a bit of a rivalry between KINOTROPE and SCARZ because obviously they have one of your old players, you've got one of their old players, and you've got their coach as well. So how much did having Ayagator and Eclair on the team give you an advantage in this matchup? And how much did them having Yuki's on their team maybe give you a disadvantage?
Okay. Yuki has a like one of the best mechanics in Japan, so like some rounds he did a like super fire round and then we lost some round, but Ayagator and Eclair can like have very big brain to talk, and we can make a system to win against the like such as big mechanics or the like individual team. So we built system with Ayagate and Eclair. That's like our advantage for the this roster change. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal. I'll make it simple then. Are you guys going to celebrate this victory, or is it just get back to the drawing board and work for the next match?
Yeah, we need to work on the next match because we need to get into the major. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So eyes on the major. It would be phenomenal if you guys qualified, to be honest. I know that DevMats and I, we cast, KINOTROPE all of last year, and we're thinking these guys are really good, they're gonna go big places, etc. Last year was not you guys this year, so it'd be amazing if it could be now.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we have time for tonight, Okamesh. Go and enjoy your victory. Go and get ready to practice for your upcoming game. It's going to be a huge upper bracket final against either CAG or D+. But, of course, I'll give you the floor one last chance before we close up the interview. Anything you'd like to say to anybody watching? Could be in English, could be in Japanese.
Okay, first English. Thank you for the supporting us. Like when even the Australia ex-teammate or the Chinese ex-teammate, thank you so much for the every replies or the messages. And I'm talking in Japanese. 応援してくださってるいつも皆さん、とてもありがとうございます。本当にたった一つのコメントでも励みになっております。これからも頑張って、メジャー進出、そして世界優勝をね目指して頑張っていきたいと思うので応援よろしくお願いします。Thank you so much.
Thank you, Okamesh. Good luck in your next game. Go rest up.
Yeah, thank you.
I love Okamesh's energy. Always have a big win.